Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The Slant. The Slant. All right, Paulie, let's go. That's better. Where'd I go?
Yeah. Look at that handsome dude. He's going to be with us in a minute. In un minuto. All right, we have goals here. Membership goal 3. 3 memberships. New ones we need tonight. 3. 3 is a magic number. 3 delincuentes. 3. Is it 3 leches? We got all these treses going on. We need to happen. It needs to happen
5,
tonight.
4,
3, 2,
Uno.
1. Be right back. Paulie here. Paulie here on the Latino Slant. It's a Monday. It's a Monday night. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to another edition of the week. Wow. I'm working on with this new interface here that StreamYard has, and it's interesting. There's some interesting possibilities with it. I got to do my research on it, but I guess I can do like bubbles and squares and all that stuff. But listen, fun stuff. We have a fantastic lineup for you guys of shows, and already we hit our goal right there. Jaimin D gifted 5. That's right, 5. They went through the 3, 4, 5 Latino Slant memberships. We're gonna say a big thank you to Jaimin D right now. Who won them? Who won them? All right, Cerebus, the Duxon, Rob Altus, Bobby's World, and Hong Kong, Honky Kong. I love that, Honky Kong. So, members right now, I know you guys are in the chat. I know you guys are just getting in here because we have Robert My Burnett coming up in a few minutes. Oh my God, we're like geeking out already. And then we're like, we got to start. Yeah, we got to start. But members need to know right now, there is going to be a first look at Wild Robot, our movie reaction from Rosa Parra. She's watching it right now. You guys are going to get the first reaction for about 24 hours. Get to enjoy Wild Robot, our initial first reactions. You're going to get that later tonight. We do this for you guys. We have first looks, membership videos that people don't even see, and all kinds of good stuff. So muchísimas gracias, everyone, here at the Latino Slant. Okay, let's bring in our producer really quick. ¿Qué pasó? We already did it, man. Look at that.
That's
Look at
already
that.
done. It's straight out the wire. I mean,
It's already done.
See, I should have asked for more. That's what I said. You know,
no. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We will say though that the Thought Police, our new T-shirts, they've been around, but new colors are available now.
What?
Right now,
what
and another thing you guys get as members, you guys get discounts off the merchandise. So there's so much to look forward to. Fletcher, what else do we got going on?
Swagger.
Can you tell I'm a little amped?
A little amped. Is that coffee in there or green tea? What
It's
you got in there?
straight up Coca-Cola. I am
Straight up
not gonna lie. I'm
Coca-Cola.
not gonna lie.
Man,
Yeah,
what? It's all
straight
right.
up,
It's all
dog.
right.
Straight up.
Nobody
Pumping it up.
defunded Coke. Well, is
Yeah.
it actually Mexican Coke or is it American Coke?
No, it's a tall boy. I get tall boys. I get either Coke Zero, which I had one
heck is
earlier
a
today.
Tall boy.
Tall boy is like skinny, can.
Skinny can.
Yeah, skinny long.
I've never heard of this.
You never heard of a tall boy?
No, I've never heard of this. What is that?
You never heard of the term tall boy?
No, only. Okay, my
right.
brother-in-law used to be he's
Yeah.
in the system now, so it's like the
Yeah.
AA and stuff like that. So tall boys for him when he used to get like the big beers.
Sure, it's the
Right?
same thing. It's a tall
Right.
can. I believe it's double the ounces. Latino card revoked if you don't know tall boy. Así es. Aquí no más. ¿Qué pasa? No conoces a tall boy. Dame dos tall boys.
Wow, that's straight. It's puro. What do they say? Puro truckers. They say.
No.
What happened just now? See, I
Bam.
asked for more, and that's
Right.
what happened.
Bam!
Oh.
10.
See, you told me not to ask for more, but that's what happened. It's a tall boy. Jasmine D is a tall boy.
Why do you say
50
Jasmine
membership.
D? There's no
I
Z.
don't
Z
know.
there.
What is it?
It's an I. Jaimin D.
Well, that's
Here we go. Let's say hello to those 10 new really fast. Take it on through. Hurry up.
All right, let's see.
See,
So
I'm
we
like,
got
all right.
Canadian
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yes.
We got Novella Princess.
I
We
see.
got Gerard Campos. We
Mhm.
got Jay Sands.
Mom.
We got Daryl the Derelict. We
Órale,
got
Daryl.
Jose Luis
Jose
Castellanos.
Luis.
We got
Got some raza here tonight.
Rogelio Cerratos. Wow. Eric Rouge Mendez. We got Papa Palpatine, Pizza Padawan.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Wow. See?
let me all right. I want to thank you guys.
Thank you.
I want to thank Jaimin D. Yeah, I'll take Jasmine since it's from Fletcher. Oh, don't take that.
Yeah.
Don't.
Thank you. Muchas
No.
gracias. Yes, thank you.
No, don't.
No harm, no harm.
No. Stand up for your name, homie. This is for all the new members. We'll be right back. All right, so all the new members, if you're seeing this live or on the replay, you can email me right now for your discount codes. I'm going to put it up right now. Just remember that, guys. All you guys that are members, email me for your discount codes for the merch. Where's it at? Here we go. Membership. Boom. There you go.
Boom.
LatinoSlant@gmail.com. LatinoSlant@gmail.com. That is for your either, depending on the level you are, it's like 10% or 20% off the t-shirts. I mean, what a deal. I don't know what happened to Fletcher. Did he go out? Did you go out?
No, I'm here. Do you hear me?
Yeah,
you heard me.
You heard me? You heard me?
You heard me now?
You heard me?
I feel like I'm getting kicked out for not knowing what a tall boy is. So.
They still giving you shit?
I just think I don't know. Isn't that like a gringo thing? We don't have tall boys in South America or Mexico.
Tall boy is a gringo American creation. But, raza they'll be like, dame un tal boy. Yeah, man.
Nah,
come on, bro. That's very American.
Man. That's very American.
It's very American. See, that's where the Chicano meets the
right. That's
the Afro Latino.
That's yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go.
All right, here we go.
Because I am going to bring up a letter from one of our subscribers, and we're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna bring in Robert. So, Robert, you got a few minutes, and then we'll get this going. So,
all right, let's do it.
We'll see you in a minute. Cool.
Okay.
So, we had a great letter, and we're getting these great letters in regards to one video in particular that is titled Not Latina Enough, where it's the phenomenon of being kind of like that example we just used of the tall boy thing. Yet maybe we don't know perfect Spanish or fluent Spanish, where Jenna Ortega brought that up a few weeks ago, and Anya Taylor-Joy had her back, and there was this whole great kind of discussion in regards to that. And we keep getting these really great letters from viewers like you guys. And I wanted to read this one letter, if I could do that, and we can take it from there. Now, this comes from Christy Cumplido. It's under the Carries a Bit of Shame Latina Identity. And she says, in Miami, nobody ever had a ruler taken from them for speaking Spanish. Clearly. Right. That's in regards to me, my experience when I was growing up in the LA school district, how I would get swatted with a ruler for speaking Spanish in elementary. I was raised with piñatas, Nochebuena con lechon, etc. But unlike my peers, I wasn't raised speaking Spanish as my Mexican-Cuban immigrant mother wanted to be a school teacher. I was raised only speaking English to help better perfect her own. My father spoke in Spanish. I answered back in English. So my super brown mom, I love that. Super brown mom. That's like a new superhero. Super brown mom. Call when you need. They exist every day. So my super brown mom can speak perfect English without even a Gloria Estefan accent. Yet ironically, it's my super white, blonde, green-eyed Cuban dad who worked as an artist that didn't speak a wink of English. His family came from the Canary Islands, Galicia, Spain. He understood enough to understand me and American TV, but never had to speak it. Now at 41, my Spanish is better and I can relate to Jenna Ortega. In Miami, you're called a Cubana arrepentida if you don't speak perfect Spanish, which I find ironic when I can get that from Cubans whose Spanish has that super thick Cuban accent. Case in point, I didn't know gracias had an S at the end until I was an adult. We got to make fun of our Latinos in their accents, the way they cut off Spanish sometimes. I'll end it with this. Your point, how you can't base someone's heritage on their appearance. It's true. My close friend from Chile was raised there, and my mother is pure, and her mother is pure Chilean, and father is American. She looks like an Eastern European model. Natural long blonde hair, not flat, but a perky little butt. Tall and flaca, with no hips and full lips. Gorgeous. And her Spanish puts everyone to shame. Argentina had a lot of German migration after World War II, by the way. Props to Anya Taylor-Joy for being proud of her heritage, but not ignoring the obvious privilege she gets for not looking like the stereotype. Unlike Christina Aguilera, who tried to appropriate her name with a Spanish album, when she has not a connection to her Latin side, nor the language. Taylor-Joy has nothing to prove. Sorry, longer post than I intended. So glad your channel popped up to my feed. Race is a construct. It's the soil that feeds our roots. Wow. It's funny that Robert Meyer Burnett is here as our guest because he inspired me to do these letters. And when I watch him read his letters to his his audience that are so based in knowledgeable in all the different types of genre of film and books and television, I feel we have that same connection here when in regards to our Latinidad and the great arts of work, the great things that we contribute to society. So, Christy, I really thank you for this letter. It's amazing. And I know you said you're going to be checking it out, whether you're here with us live or not. But it's important for people that, just maybe grew up looking a little strange, a little different, or maybe they looked like they weren't Latinos to find their place in the world. There's tons of room for everyone in this place. So yeah, great letter. Great letter. Thank you so much. All right, guys. You guys been waiting for our brother. We love him so much. One of my favorite people, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett.
Paulie, you know what? You're the handsomest motherfucker on this fucking platform. Every time I see you, you just get more and more handsome. Can I just say that? And I'm just gonna say this. I'm gay, Jason, but I'm a straight man. I just want to say the first time I met Paulie, we went and saw, and I'm not going to apologize for this.
Right.
We went and saw The Matrix Resurrections. And
Yeah.
one of the fun things about this whole YouTube platform is we get to meet and know people online this way without ever meeting them in meet space. You never meet people.
Yeah.
And Paulie was one of the first people I actually met. And he was taller than me. I'm 6'1". You're like 6'2", right?
On a good day.
You're like a very strapping, handsome man. And like, it was so much fun to meet you. And you and I both, we had a great time at Matrix Resurrections. We enjoyed it. We had some food afterwards. It was so much fun to meet you. And I just love what you're doing. And thank you for the compliment about reading letters, because I have to tell you, there's nothing more that builds a community between you and your audience as reading letters, reading from them, hearing it right from the horse's mouth. That was a great letter, by the way.
Fantastic. And we're getting, it's interesting what videos spurn great
you never know.
Communication. You just don't know.
That said, I gotta take Fletcher to task.
Okay, let's bring him in.
I went to the Merriam-Webster online dictionary and looked up tall boy.
All right.
I'm just saying, I looked up tall boy, and there's 3 different definitions. There's a high boy, which is a double chest of drawers, usually with the upper section slightly smaller than the lower.
Right, and that's what I've heard from my wife, and I'm like, okay, that's not a dresser though.
The second is a British definition, and it means a clothes press, so you're pressing clothes.
Right.
The third definition is or tall boy, a tall cylindrical can for beverages such as beer, usually measuring 16 fluid ounces. I just want to point out, I wanted to do some due diligence for the show, because it's amazing what a few keystrokes can bring you, what kind of knowledge can bring you on these.
Are you American explaining to me, Mr.
No, it just says a tall. No, I would
up,
never American explain to anyone. I'm just saying, by the definition, it just says a tall cylindrical can for beverages. Parenthetically, such as beer, usually measuring 16 ounces. Only because I've heard the term tall boy. I think it's ethnic. What we call it, ethnic, like not fluid.
Ethnic center.
Ethnic. What does it mean when it doesn't matter what the ethnicity is? Ethnic, flat, ethnic. It is not specific to any ethnicity.
It's not ethnic specific, is that?
No, it's just a 16-ounce beverage container.
Love it.
Tall boy. And by the way, this is not any slight on you. It just means you're not drinking 16-ounce beers, which is probably good. And your wife probably loves you for it. So
yes.
I thought that was hilarious. I was actually laughing aloud. I'm like, I'm going to look up, does tall boy have a definition? And there it was.
It's the tall boy phenomenon.
Ethnically ambiguous. Bonzo Kilborn has it.
I like agnostic.
Ethnically agnostic.
What's up, Justin? What's up? But the thing I keep forgetting is that Fletcher, his formative years weren't here in the States, correct, Fletch?
Right. Yeah. No,
that's why
we travel. We came. We actually came, and when we weren't even settled in the United States, because then we went to work in Canada, and part of the Canada was French Quebec, so that's all messed up.
Oh wow!
It's not even French.
Fletcher, where do you hail from?
Well, I was born in Argentina, but we were between Argentina and Brazil. So my mother's from Brazil, and my father's from Argentina, but my sister was born in Brazil. Have family mostly from Brazil, because they were working in between the two countries. So it's
Well, I'm excited. So okay, I produced a movie, shameless plug, called Tango Shalom, which now we had to change the name, called Forbidden Tango, is actually playing.
You had to change the name?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Because of October 7th.
No way.
What?
Dude, don't get me. Oh, dude.
Okay, all right. Let's not go there.
But the Argentina Jewish Film Festival that opens in November is playing Tango Shalom in
Oh,
Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
No,
And,
are they playing Tango Shalom though? Do they call it Tango Shalom? Because over there,
Well, we had to change the name.
Even
Because-
for because over there, I know that
no. As a matter, no, I think it's called Tango Prohibido.
Tango Prohibido.
Tango
Prohibido.
Prohibido. How is it?
Prohibido.
Prohibido. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Tango Prohibido, which is pretty cool.
That's actually
I mean, that's
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know,
So
that's pretty dope.
but it's a real honor. Like I've always wanted to go to Buenos Aires, and I'm trying to figure out a way. Like, do I have to do more super chats? And
When is it?
go
Yeah,
live?
do a fundraiser, man. When is it?
It's in November.
It's actually not that bad. Because you should be able to get a ticket.
I looked. It's
soon.
not
You
that
know
bad
that?
at all. It's not that
Right.
bad at all. It's just the people don't understand. But it'll be the seasons are changing. We're going from spring into summer.
Right. It's summer over there going to be. Yeah.
Yeah, in Argentina, because you know those people that believe the Earth is flat. Well, explain why the seasons are different on other sides of the world.
No, it's because it's we're sitting on top of the turtle. So when the turtle moves,
that's right.
What happens.
Or you could be like Jeffrey Rush in Gods of Egypt, where he's actually pulling the sun across the sky in his chariot.
Or you actually watch Moon Knight. It's one of the few people who watch Moon Knight, and they
why do you have to bring that up? Why do you have to do that?
Well, I don't know. You called me out for the tall boy.
Yeah,
maybe that's what I'm going to start bringing out.
You know what?
Fist of Nansu.
Touche.
Touche, my friend.
Oh wait. Okay, since you're going to bring it up, all right, that's fine. That's fine. Wait,
what are we doing?
Wait.
What are we?
Listen, oh man!
Hold on,
oh,
Mr. Knight.
Mr.
There
Knight.
he is. Come on,
man. That gotta cost you a pretty penny.
No, it wasn't that bad. It was like,
where's your Mexican Iron Man one?
Oh, he's
away?
right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
See him? He's tipping his sombrero.
Yeah,
that might be a Mexican. The Mexican Iron Man, Miguel, got me that. That might be one of my favorite things I own.
That's cool.
I just got his birthday present in the mail today.
Nice.
Oh, Iron Man Mike. What
Iron Man Mike. Iron Man Mike.
Mexican Iron Man.
Whatever.
I love Mexican Iron Man. One day I'm gonna go visit him across on the other side of the country.
He's got a great house. And I wanted to say that too, is that we don't see each other in person enough.
No, he's great. But can I just tell you something? You mean me or you or Mike?
Me and you and Mike, but
we don't. Yeah. But I'm gonna say this on your show. You know, Mexican Iron Man, he's not really Mexican. I'm just I want to
hold on. We have a video for that. Hold on. The Latino Slant presents Slant News Flash.
If you look at his papers, his papers, they show that he's
birth certificate.
He's
We're very touchy. We get triggered when you say, "Can we see your papers?"
We don't need no
I do too. I'm a Jew. Papers, please. So no, but Mexican Iron Man. Now we all know he truly is Latino, Latinx, Latinx. We know we do know, but his papers say something else.
Yes, they do.
There, and so, I mean, I think he might be pulling off the biggest long con of all. I mean, okay.
I'm gonna back him up because I'm getting my I had to get my passport ready for Mexico next month, and
don't hold it up. Do not
my
dox
new
yourself.
passport.
No, where's the race at? I thought I saw Caucasian, man.
How about human?
Hey, man, this is the government. Yeah. Hey, this is government paper.
There's one race. When are people going to get it right? There is one race on planet Earth with different ethnicities. Ethnicities. Yes, there's one.
That word's really getting to you today.
Ethnicities. I'm just saying.
I was always a fan of the other. Because the things it's like, man, I'm just what? I can just put other. That fits. Because if not, you're just filling out so many.
But no, I love Mike, but he does have a questionable past, and if he wants to be Mexican, far be it from me to tell anybody in this day and age what they can and can't be in terms of their own identity. So, Mike, I
Got
understand.
Mike is-
called out.
It's very forward thinking of you.
That's right. Mike, you just got Burnett.
Burnetted.
You got
Burnetted.
Burnetted.
No, actually, I got to tell you something. I would not be where I'm sitting right now without Mike's help.
Mike rocks, man.
Yep, I know that for a fact.
Mike,
And
is
I could say that
the
for
man.
a fact as well. As well.
Mike is. There are a few people in the world like Mike, despite the fact he's pretending to be Mexican.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Right.
No, he truly is.
Okay. So, do we have any super chats or member chats?
We have some members.
Okay, let's take membership chats.
Lorenzo Fletcher Production says you got robbed. That's
you got robbed. Yeah,
you got robbed.
That's
I'm
fun. Oh, is that a friend of yours?
How have I never ever? No one's ever said that to me. Like if I'm like, you got robbed.
You got
I'm gonna start saying that.
Yeah.
And I'll send you 10%.
It's like you got R&B'd.
R&B.
You got R&B'd.
I don't know. I like you got Burnetted.
You got Burnetted, yeah.
Yeah, you just got Burnetted on, you know.
But the thing is, that's not my brand. I don't want to Burnett people. I'm supposed to bring people together, and what Burnetted means, it means to bring people that might hate each other together in the same frame and have a discourse. That's what it means to get Burnetted.
The Duke of Dope discourse.
Duke of Dope.
Or to get Burnetted is to have two opposite sides of the same, or no, opposite sides of the Hatfields and the McCoys, a dividing line. Bring people together to speak, and I'll be in the middle and go, hey.
So together with Burnetted.
We got to work on that tag.
Yeah.
Together we are Burnetted. Yeah.
We got to make that. We got to make that T-shirt a reality, like the ones that you have on, I have on. So,
yeah.
That I'm going to buy that shirt. Your shirt's the best.
We got it comes in new colors, man. I'm telling you. Okay, so let's move on to our first topic, and it's you, Rob.
It's me.
Well, you're such a prolific Twitterer? Do they still say that?
Twitter, yeah. You know, man, I was getting trouble. I would like to call myself an agent Twitter provocateur. I guess I don't know. I mean, I don't mean to be, but I do try and throw out like people. When people try and pigeonhole me, the first thing I like to do is like dissuade them of that.
Yeah,
nice.
And I really hate the fact, it's very funny. We live in a world where we're supposed to be very accepting of all kinds of identities, especially people that are non-binary. And yet everybody wants to throw a very binary label on you, on me, or anybody. Everybody's always trying to say, you're this kind of person. You're that. You're this. And I'm like, no, I am not that thing. I wouldn't.
As soon as you say that, then you're not an ally anymore.
Well, but yet I'm supposed to be an ally to non-binary people, and those very same people want to slap labels on me to make me binary. You're either this, you're that, and I've always thought that life is nuance. You know, I've never thought in my life, I've never tried to slap a label on anybody I know. I like somebody because of who they are as a person, and all of their myriad differences, or all the things that make them who they are, which are complex and deep. You know, that's why I like them, because you can't pigeonhole people. And this desire that people have to want to pigeonhole everybody is strange to me, especially because the progressive side wants everybody to be accepting of people. But they're the first people to turn around and slap a label on you and say, nope, you're a bad person, because
or the first to try to censor you.
Yeah.
And, which comes to our first topic. And I was just kind of blown away with what you said. You had retweeted this in regards to AOC. This woman might single-handedly force me to revoke the registered Democrat voting status I've maintained since I became of voting age in 1988. Same here, brother. As far as that's the first year I voted.
I voted for Mondale, and I was a USC student, which was a bastion of the right when I
There
was
was. Yeah, Jesse Jackson right here. Jesus effing Christ. Remember, Lincoln was a Republican and they ended slavery. This does not mean I've become a Republican. Well, okay. All right, let's go to the source, because you're talking about AOC and what she had to
And
say.
by the way, this is, to be fair, this is a clip from a longer speech that was taken in context or out of context and placed here. And so people told me to go watch the longer speech, which I did. But after watching that, what she says in this clip is not incorrect.
Okay, well, all right. Let me see this first, and then let's talk about it. And I want my audience to see it as well. At the volume. All right, here we go.
You know, I do think that several members of Congress in some of my discussions have brought up media literacy, because that is a part of what happened here. And we're going to have to figure out how we rein in our media environment so that you can't just spew disinformation and misinformation. It's one thing to have differing opinions, but it's another thing entirely to just say things that are false. And so that's something that we're looking into. You know,
what is she looking into, Rob?
Well, the way that I see it is, look, we have a real problem with the internet and social media in that there is a lot of falsehoods, outright lies. AI, we're going to get deep fakes of people doing things that they never did. We now live in a world where the truth and reality is it's gone. It's gone. And so what she's talking about is putting limits on that kind of thing. How can we, because people spewing untruths and making deep fakes is inherently dangerous. And I agree with her. The problem is, once you decide or you grant somebody the ability to squash information, that means there's somebody at the top of that has to make those decisions, that says what is true and what is not. And I've always believed that the best way to combat disinformation is through transparency. You have to be transparent. And one of the things that the internet has done so well has allowed people to conceal who they are. And I think that one of the things that a healthy internet or healthy social media needs is transparency. Look, if someone came to me and said, we are no longer going to allow you to use the internet unless you are posting under your verifiable legal name, I don't think I'd have a problem with that. Now, people would say, well, you have to have verified identity or whatever. Yes, I think that's true. But I think the problem is when you can keep anonymity, and you can hide behind false identities. Of course you can spew falsehoods. And I don't want disinformation. But the only way to combat disinformation is with actual truth and facts and transparency. People need to believe in you. And they need to know who you are, and your opinion has to be verified. I have never in my life posted on the internet without my own name being attached to it. Whether it was Burnett RM, RM Burnett, Robert Meyer Burnett, I've always posted as me. And if people want to come back and fact check me or take me to task, I welcome that. And I think that the internet has become the world. The world has never been so connected as it is now. And the ability to, what humans do, we abuse, we lie, we cheat, we steal. That's who we are. And the internet has allowed people, bad actors on every level, to use the internet as the ultimate disinformation tool, the ultimate tool for graft, for crime, for lies, for misinformation, disinformation, what have you, that we've ever seen. But I think that we cannot, once you say you can't do this in terms of speech, or that means there's someone that has to police it. You're putting somebody in a position, and who are those people? What are their qualifications? And if you come from right now, if you look at all the people from around the world, many different countries have many different ways of looking at the world. None is any less valid than the other. And the fact is, what we need is transparency so people can have open, honest dialogue. And the way to do that is to know that you're looking somebody in their virtual eyeballs. So you know what they're posting is either themselves or what they're saying is truthful. Because if you have to be held accountable for your views, well then, I think that would go a long way toward combating people who are going to lie, cheat, and steal on the internet, because they'll get found out. And oh, sorry.
So then your statement of her making you give up your Democratic card are you
okay? I didn't address that, but yeah, I'll tell you why. Because I always lived in a world where I thought dialogue between people, even if you disagree, that adults can sit in a room across the table and have an honest conversation about their issues. And I always thought that was, when I was growing up, my father instilled that in me. He said, listen, son, he passed away in 2008. The idea is to be your honest, true self. And he and my grandfather stressed to me, when you shake someone's hand, you shake it firmly and you look them in the eye. So they know they're given an opportunity to look into your eyes and make a decision whether they're going to do business with you or not, because your eyes aren't going to lie. And that was maybe some bullshit, but there is something to be said for when you clasp someone's hand and look them in the eye. It's a lot harder to lie to them, and that's a great place to begin a conversation. And I think that having that physical touch and that immediacy of eye contact, it's very difficult to maintain eye contact with anybody if you're not being truthful. Because if you have something to hide, the eyes are the first place where you're going to betray yourself. And for me, I feel that I consider myself a classical liberal. Not at which some people say, well, that means you're conservative. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It means I'm a classical liberal. I'm the furthest thing from being a conservative. But what I think is really important is we can't pillory people that have different beliefs than we do. The best way, if you want to do that, you have to have open dialogue. And if people have bad ideas, reveal them to the world. And then you better have a rebuttal that can explain why those views are bad. And the best way, bad ideas like evolution, bad ideas will die out. They will not mutate and evolve. Bad ideas will be squelched, brought into the light of day. And if your thoughts and beliefs can't withstand scrutiny or an honest debate, whether it's in a public forum or whether it's between two people, then your beliefs are wrong. You have to be your beliefs have to be able to stand up to scrutiny. And there's nothing wrong with dialogue. And when AOC is saying things like, well, we have to figure out a way, people are saying things I don't like. People are giving us disinformation, so we have to maybe take steps. I'm like, how you take steps is to use the truth and engage in honest debate and allow bad ideas to die on the vine. That's what I've thought. And I feel that in our political discourse, listen, Donald Trump's been president of the United States. I would never vote again. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I would never vote for Donald Trump because he's proven I don't feel that he is fit to lead the country. As a matter of fact, the United States, we are moving into a very tumultuous period in our planet's history on a number of levels. And I think I think back to people like Teddy Roosevelt or FDR or John F. Kennedy, the speakers. And now we've already had people like Barack Obama. We might have an Indian, Black, female president, which I think ultimately could be very good for the country. I am a little disappointed at the way the issues are being presented, but I do think having a multi-ethnic female president could be exactly what we need on the world stage. The problem is everybody is so afraid of being honest. And that's what I see coming from.
Well, Harris is afraid of being honest.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But let's put a pause on Harris for a second.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
it's
to.
Okay. No, dude. No.
all.
Hey, we're talking, man. I love it. Whether I completely agree with you or not, where we're cut from is that we're both, classic old school liberals. I mean,
we're here to talk.
I have never voted anything but Democrat.
Me neither.
And I'm at a weird impasse. Now, that being said, I don't want any part of her government to tell me anything about looking into. I do not trust the government on that. As far as anything that has to do with thought, with censorship, we gave it a try. It was a disaster with the pandemic, and it really turned a lot of people against each other because of the thought of you talk about misinformation, but we can go down a rabbit hole. When I saw you put this up, I'm just like, I don't want AOC near that type of button at all.
Well, I mean,
go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I think we all of us, whatever your political affiliation is, we all really do want to help people. We all want to make the lives of people better. I think that Americans, by definition, we are a nation of immigrants. Everybody came here from somewhere else. And I believe in the melting pot. I believe that the thing about the American experience that is the strongest is that once we come here, everybody becomes an American, and we incorporate everyone's culture, everyone's identity into the American experiment. And America is stronger the more ideas, the more cultures, the more that we get. And we don't want to get rid of those cultures. We want them to be a part of our melting pot. It's like we have a giant boiling cauldron of beautiful cultures, and it gets more tasty. The stew or the soup that we're making gets more tasty the more people and ideas and stuff we have in it. And I think that's always been the case.
So I think, listen, I think, it sounds good, right? But the examples of a Harris or an AOC, I'd much rather go for a Tulsi. You have those.
Oh, dude.
You said, you have all for me, right? You have all the.
I love her.
I absolutely love her.
More than I probably should.
Right, and you talk about not being afraid to talk about issues. She's
also served the country.
She's seen some shit. She's seen some shit. That's the type of leader I want.
Well,
I don't think these two people are leaders.
Well, I mean,
I think they take their cues from other higher people. But that being said, coming from where I come from, some of the dirtiest politicians that I've known, some of the most corrupt, were other Mexicans that got in, that weaseled their way in, guys are progressive, and then they took around the money, or they're downright racist. I mean, those are the worst kind. So it's like, here you fight to get some representation, you get someone elected on a local level, and then they become part of not even become part of the the establishment, but even worse, you know, they get corrupted, and that's really depressing, because that's why I stopped working in the movement, because I'm like, nah, I'm done. You know, I could affect more change here and talk to more people here, have great conversations, than, you know, working for someone's political campaign. And trust me, I have done that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I've contributed to past political candidates. I've gone to fundraisers and things like that. I mean, I guess, look, I call myself a civilizationist. And I think that what we should be doing is working for the betterment, always for the betterment of the human future. How can we make everybody's life a little bit easier? And to me, because I really do believe there's one race on this planet, the human race. And depending on where your ancestors were from, and the natural, like, hey, if your skin has more melanin in it because you're from a place where the sun shined brighter than it did in, say, Northern Europe, and you look different, that doesn't mean you're not a human being. And human beings we're not exactly the most intellectual or smart people. We are prone to being pretty dumb.
We're very imperfect. Yes,
we're very imperfect, but we're also delightful and amazing.
We can be,
and we can be, and I think that I've never judged somebody from where on the planet they're from. I've always been like, hey, that person knows something I don't know.
Sure.
You know,
different language, knows a different. Yes, absolutely.
And if we just looked at people, like my go-to position is, I'll give you an example. I was having lunch today at a restaurant down the street, and this husband and wife struck up a conversation with me, and I didn't know them. They were significantly older, probably 20 years older than me. And we had a delightful conversation, and they told me things about themselves and where they grew up and stuff I wouldn't have even known. These were people, a random conversation, just with two people I didn't know. I always say that on my own show. Every person you meet has a story to tell you have yet to hear. And I had a delightful conversation. I learned something about how they met and what they thought about. And we didn't, get into politics, because it didn't matter. We'd already met and spoken and had a nice conversation for about an hour. And when I left, the guy got up and made it a point to come over to shake my hand. And he looked me straight in the eye and he said, "It was very nice to meet you, Rob." And then I left. And I believe that most people, if they're not on the internet, but when you're actually face to face with somebody.
I'm with you, Rob. I'm with you. But our Democratic leaders, they don't even want to do that.
Well, no, they don't.
They're not even doing what you said. I've been listening to Tucker Carlson's road trip he's doing
don't say that. You'll be like, oh my God, you listen to Tucker Carlson?
Right.
We should listen to everybody.
Should listen to everyone. He is doing these live, going to different towns right now with Tulsi Gabbard, with RFK Jr.
Yeah.
He says something. The live events is the best place is the only place where you can't be censored. And it says to what you were just saying, as far as in-person communication, maybe Harris just doesn't have that ability. That is a special ability for a politician to have, to be able to talk with people in person, back and forth. She might not even have that. Right. I'm not gonna hold it against her. Right. But it's like, you want to be a leader of the free world, you best come and talk to me. But it's so weird. And then when you posted this thing about AOC, and then revoking your Democratic card, I know you're really reacting there, but we're kind of living in an upside down world where, just like you said, just by me listening to Tucker Carlson, I'm old right now.
Well, and that's but here's my problem.
And I'm called that by lefties.
Yeah, and me too. And here's what's really scary.
Mm-hmm.
I would never have thought to ever call somebody a name or label them by listening to anybody out in the political world.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is to listen to everybody and to make up your own mind. Which to me, I thought that was self-evident. You know, I did a piece, Jeremy Johns, who I like, you know, I know him. He's one of the nicest people I've met on YouTube. He reviewed Matt Walsh's new movie, Am I a Racist? And I watched his review, you know, and the movie was the 5th highest grossing film that weekend, the weekend it opened. It is a movie in theaters, period.
It is a documentary, yeah,
a
documentary
in theaters. It was the 5th highest grossing movie theatrically in theaters.
Correct.
If you're a movie reviewer like Jeremy Johns or like anybody who reviews movies
or takes their channel seriously and wants to put it on their channel,
review a movie. I could not believe the pushback. Now, I understand people don't like the Daily Wire. It's conservative. I did a story when the Daily Wire first decided to acquire movies and put them out. Like their first film was Run, Hide, Fight, about an attack on a school with gunmen and all that.
Oh, wow.
And they picked it up. The studios didn't pick it up, and they picked it up, and they became a movie distributor. Now, for me, I found it interesting because the Daily Wire had their subscription model. They'd release the film to their subscribers, and did the filmmakers get paid back? Now, for me, I wasn't thinking politically. I was thinking the Daily Wire has now become a movie distributor. And for me, who covers movies, I'm like, that's really interesting. I got so much pushback. People started coming after me about Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh. And I'm like, wait a minute, guys. You might not like their politics, but the fact is the Daily Wire has now become a new movie distributor. I cover the movie business. Here's a place. They picked up a movie the studios rejected. That's news, and that's something I want to talk about. I want to talk about indie film distribution. And people came after me and like, their hatred of individuals or personalities blinded them of the bigger picture.
Correct.
And I'm like, that to me is ignorance. That to me is dangerous. And that to me is people that are not smart enough to realize that, oh my God, somebody said something I don't like. So, ooh, fuck them. I'm like, you're not listening to me. These are people that are now Matt Walsh puts out his film in a movie theater. Now,
big hit, by the way.
Yeah, it's almost made $10 million
for a independent documentary. Huge hit.
A huge hit. Now, that to me, from a filmmaking and a pop culture standpoint, whether you like Matt Walsh or not, I don't care. I cover the movie business. And when a movie comes out and makes $10 million, an independently produced documentary, that's something to talk about and analyze. And if you don't want to talk and analyze about that, you're stupid and you're dangerous, because what you're doing is you are not dealing with reality.
Well, exactly. And what is that? What I say is you're a child.
You're an infant.
You are. That's how you're operating. You're operating from like a child does. And what does a child does? Pure emotion. Love children. Pure emotion. Right. How I used to operate a lot, especially when I was burning it down with booze, drugs, and women. Boom. However,
yeah, it was fun though.
That shit was fun.
Now I drink mason jars of water.
Yeah, that would drink water. We gotta get adults back into the room.
Yes,
that's just it. And we had to push back on some topics that we talked about in regards to this Mexican band pulling the song that they collaborated with this Puerto Rican rapper because he backed Trump. Well, he endorsed Trump. Heaven forbid you endorse.
The man was president of the United States.
so
I mean, regardless of he inspired an insurrection and lied and stole and he's a felon, but he's still president. So, but backing him is a legitimate thing that Americans can do.
Right.
And to get mad at somebody and to be angry that they are but backing somebody, if you're talking about music and collaborating or whatever, the idea that somebody you might not, or somebody that you might actually like their work, and then they're different from you politically, that's okay. That's what's called a dichotomy. And that's what the world is. There are people that have political views that I find abhorrent, but I like them as people. Now, should I hate them because everything about them, one particular thing? What if I like 10 things about them, but there's 3 things about them that I don't like? I'd much rather have them in my life.
Well,
I'll get over the 3 things and let them be their own person.
Well, and that's you know, and that's what kind of adults do, right? That's what human beings do. It's like, all right, I'm Christian. I believe in there's certain tenets that being the Christian faith. Okay, 9 out of 10, I'm down. There's that one. I got to go with that though, because meaning that those 9 outweigh that one.
Yeah,
I can live with it. There's just certain things. And I'm just saying to anyone, if you can live with them, then then you're good. If you can't, then don't be part of that organization. Don't endorse that person. I don't know what, but I say this as well. Just do your research. And the thing with this AOC, it just, again, it goes back to just, dude, we're just having a conversation. Chill out with calling me a Trumper, an alt-righter. You don't know me. If you really want to know me, then we'll get to know each other. But stop acting like a child.
Yeah, well, that's and by the way, people, how many streams have you done? People can look back at the work you've done and be like, so you're either a Trumper or a non-Trumper? Everything is nuanced. I mean, you can like 5 or 6 things someone says, and you don't like 4 or 3 or 2 of the other things they say.
Right.
I mean, the world is complex and nuanced, and I feel that only children is like, well, I either like this or I don't like this, and if I don't like this, then you're a bad person. I mean, like,
or you can't, or you are so. There's a block in you that you've put to where you can't decipher for yourself just what is true and what is not true, or go and search it out. Yeah. You're gonna sit there and bitch, right? And make someone's life a living hell because you don't like what's coming, because you don't like where they're coming from.
Well, that's the really scary thing, is that there are people that will come after you, not knowing if you have a family to take care of, elderly people to take care of, and they will go after you and try and take away your livelihood simply because they don't like one thing that you've said.
Yeah.
And that kind of behavior, now here's the thing. And this is this is something new. I'm seeing people that I would normally think that I was their ally. I have seen those people turn around and actively generate a mob. It happened to me. And go after people and try and do what? Harm them.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form. Harm them. Hurt them. Hurt their families, hurt their livelihood. Now, I understand people can say, well, Rob, if somebody has Nazi beliefs, they should be taken offline. I'm like, okay, I agree, but those beliefs will die on the vine. They don't need you to call up a posse, grab your shotguns and whatever action, and go after somebody and essentially murder them online. Because what you're now a vigilante. You're now justifying, and this is the problem. Here's what I think is truly the problem with our modern age. We live in our heads. And when you're on the internet, all you're doing is dealing with ideas. You're listening to people say things, you're dealing with ideas, and you make these decisions. Yeah, it's all in your head.
So much consumption. Yes. We're not computers.
And then when you want to do what you think is right, and I honestly believe most people think they're doing what's right. They're blinded by this. And by doing or saying like, oh, I'm part of your group, and everyone's like, oh, yes, please come. And you'll have 100 people tell you how great you are. Oh my God, we're so supportive of you. Oh yes. None of that's real. It's all in your head. It's all this interaction on the internet. You don't have to stand in front of somebody who you have now gone after on the internet and destroyed their works, their lives, or whatever, you never had to stand in front of them and look in their eyes and watch them cry because their entire works were destroyed in a day by whatever slanders out there on the internet. Because the people that are saying those things, they have no skin in the game. They can be anonymous. They don't have to risk anything. They can just say whatever makes them feel good at that particular moment. And that's the problem. When you have people who are infants that aren't adults, they get that hit like, oh, people like what I'm saying. Oh my gosh.
And let's move on with the comments and super chats, Fletcher. But I will say, just to be fair, adults fuck up all the time as well. And but that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of this experiment of being human beings. No, so I'm not saying grow up because I'm better than you. I'm like, no, grow up because I was a fucking child for so long, and I saw where my motivation was coming from, and I saw where I really wasn't learning.
Right.
I wasn't learning. I wasn't evolving as a human. That's all I'm saying, guys.
Me too.
Because I would never, ever, give advice on something that I have not lived. It's very important. It's very important to me. Like when I say I like my leaders with scars and war stories, I do. I can't. Otherwise,
I'm with you 100%.
We're here with the great Robert Meyer Burnett. Love you, man. I love you so much, man.
I love you too. By the way, this conversation we're having right now, is what the internet is best at doing. You and I are listening, we're sharing ideas, we're talking, we are musing. And by the way, what we're saying now is not absolute. That doesn't mean that we can't be influenced, that we can't have a conversation where someone's going to change our minds. We're having a dialogue. That's what it is. It's dialogue. It's not absolute. We are musing more than anything else. We want people to contribute. We want to hear alternate points of view. We want to be proven wrong.
Fletcher, what you got? Absolutely. Fletcher, what you got, man?
Oh, we got it's okay. So don't put any false information on the net. I agree so far.
Okay, good. Thank you.
We got Cotton Ministries. How does she expect to get the points across in a turtleneck? I mean, come on.
It's the first day of fall, Fletcher.
Yeah, man.
Cotton,
it's cold.
And you know what? Listen, we like camera angles. Be said, women can look very beautiful
but she doesn't have the chain. If you're gonna do the turtleneck, you got to do the gold chain.
You need a chain.
That's what I'm saying. If she had the chain, then forget it.
Listen, we could say a lot of things about AOC, but she is a very good-looking woman, in my opinion.
I think so too. She's beautiful.
Yeah,
and she's a good dancer.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Boston. No censorship. This would be the absolute end of our freedoms.
Whoa.
I do kind of believe this.
It's a legitimate fear. It's a legitimate fear.
Okay. AOC is not trying to censor media. She was talking about media literacy. There's a lot of disinformation spread online. Various groups, including the far right, are notorious for this. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
I mean, Ralph, I would just add far left as well.
Yeah, I would
mainstream. I would say the mainstream legacy media as well.
Look, everyone's trying to get their point across. Everyone, you can both. If you were at an event,
good comment, by the way. Good comment, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good comment. If you're at a car crash and you have two people watching the same car crash happen, those two people, depending on what kind of day they're having, what their religious beliefs are, what their lives were like, might have two very different accounts of the same event. They're both saying that they both saw the same thing. Their accounts can be wildly different, and that's why it's important when you start trying to censor those accounts and say, "Well, this guy clearly knows what's up, but this guy's kind of crazy." Then you have a problem. Then it's like, well, we're only going to listen to the people that's not. These guys are crazy. We're not going to listen to them. And I feel that right now. I mean, I see it on Twitter every day. people coming after me every day for whatever I say. And it's wild because I'm like, and here's my problem with the left. And I think that it's my side. I'm left leaning. The problem with the left, the way I see it, is so many of them believe that what they're saying is absolutely correct. And they just vilify the other side. They're not willing to like say, okay, people have different points of view. They might not agree with you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're wrong. And people on my side of the aisle are like, they demonize the other side. Actually, both sides demonize each other.
Both sides do.
But it's incredibly frustrating to watch. I'm like, okay, say what you want, but that doesn't help us have a conversation to solve the problem. Why don't we all get together and solve the problem? Don't have a meeting about it and table it and go, well, you know, we've talked about it. And like in a month, we'll start to talk about the solution. No, let's not do that. Let's get together and talk and figure out the solution now and implement the solution. So in a month, the problem is gone. Let's do that. That's what adults do.
Right. Daniel T says the UK is policing misinformation. Yeah, what's happening now?
I've been seeing that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's a little
Scary.
Yeah, they've got people who are getting arrested for online posts.
Memes. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Is that what we're going to be headed towards, AOC? Going to have to be thinking about certain things? Man, that is wild.
I mean, sometimes people post things just to be humorous, to get in your face.
People,
you know, they're not necessarily racist. Problem. I mean, you know.
All right, let's go on, Fletch.
All right. So we got in the center, Hamilton.
Okay.
The reason Nixon managed to keep the peace is that the leaders of the opposite side fear the madman Nixon. Same applies to Trump. This is what we need. We need enemies that fear the U.S.
You know what? Let's go on because I don't want to go down a Trump hole right now.
All right.
Wait. But he did bring up Nixon.
Go ahead.
But I would say I don't think enemies should not necessarily fear the U.S., but enemies should understand what, if they run afoul of the U.S., what it means to them. And if you want to call that fear, I would call it necessarily they don't get to do things with impunity without repercussions. What those repercussions are, you know, I don't want to say. I can't say. But I do think that the thing is, I don't necessarily think Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. I think that Americans, right or left, or any Americans, are going to protect American interests. That you're not going to have one candidate that's like, no, man, let's play some songs and make some s'mores over the campfire. You know, anyone who's president of the United States is taking on the job to protect the nation, the republic, and they're both whoever gets the job done is going to do it. They might do it in different ways, but I don't think anyone who accepts the office of president is going to be suddenly like, whatever, dude, I'm not going to help anyone. They're going to be president of the strongest nation on earth, and they will act accordingly, no matter who it is.
Member of the channel and member for 1 month, Justin Channel says, question for Rob. Rob, why would we need authors' names on ideas from good ideas to win? Innovative papers criticizing the government would have never been published. I think it's talking about like the Federalist Papers and stuff like that.
But that's the thing. The world has changed in terms of, and I agree with you. Maybe it didn't have to be that way, but the problem is now so many of the ideas that we're getting are false narratives that are being generated by bad actors. I think, and I've said this, I say this on my, the Critical Drinker quoted me, and I really believe this, that true power comes from authenticity. And authenticity is going to be, the power is going to be what matters in the 21st century moving forward. Because we need to know in our AI-drenched age of fake everything, to be able to hear a real idea or a real thought from a real human being and have that be verifiable is going to be essential moving forward. In the past, it wasn't because we didn't have social media, but now it is. And the more authentic people are, the more that they'll get in front of you and stand up and say what they believe in, the more power they will wield.
All right,
Thank you,
no
Justin.
meme
Thank you.
accounts. So we got Michael Nemo. Paulie, you're a Trumper on your birthday. Hashtag shame. Shame.
Listen,
Is it
when
your
you turn
birthday?
yesterday was.
Yes, it is.
Oh, happy birthday. Oh, that's right. It couldn't make it. Happy birthday.
Thank you, brother.
What's
when
it
you
like
turn
to be 30?
With that, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. You.
Look at how handsome you are.
Listen, when you're 54, you can stay and vote for whoever you want, man. The older you get, the more you just don't give an F because you're, never thought I'd make it to 30.
Bonzo Kilborn thinks I'm delusional.
Oh, Bonzo.
But why? I might very well be,
why?
but why am I delusional?
Right. Orale Vato from Robert Rodriguez, Mexican time factor. Happy belated cumpleaños, hermano. Thank you for the stream and thank you. Go your help. Vamos. Vamos. Pues vamos, Alberto. Orale. Thank you, man. Thanks for being here. I love it when Raza's here. La gente. Come on, man. I don't know what I'm saying. But thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Rob, by the way, too.
Didn't get away from it. Here's for all the super chat love. Those are first and foremost Mexican Iron Man. All right, we love it. We love your comments, your thoughts, your questions in a super chat format would be even better for the channel. It helps the channel. I'm telling you, man, and all the gifted memberships is amazing. Especially, guys, technically the Slant numbers ways is a small channel. So every cent goes a long way. We're here with the great Robert Meyer Burnett.
It gets bigger every day, though.
It gets bigger every day. That's right.
That's what she said.
Hi-oh. Ooh, that gets the bigote.
Just like that, asking you shall receive. Michael Nemo with another $2. Tuviste un 50 It's just wrong. It's just wrong.
I'm not gonna take that for just $2 though, man.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
Sweeten the pot. Sweeten the pot,
if you wanna put me down. Dos bolas? No
Dos
mas?
bolas? Come on. You gotta be like suicidal, man.
Bonzo Kilborn thinks, and I don't disagree with him, but he's questioning whether if you think that making everyone sign up with their government name will cut down on inauthentic posts, you're wrong. Once the government starts making lists, those lists will be misused. Hey, I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I do think that being transparent goes a long way. And I think you can't not, I think holding people accountable for what they say is the beginning of changing the idea of disinformation on the web. Because once people can be fact-checked or followed up on, and we see that all the time, the people that get nailed, or they're all people that try and lie, and, well, you look into it and go, you really didn't do this. The internet is the ultimate fact-checking apparatus. So I do think that being authentic and honest and transparent from the beginning won't solve all of our problems, but it'll be a good start.
Didn't work in Brazil, though.
A lot of things didn't work in Brazil.
No.
except for Rio de Janeiro and Carnival. Hi-oh!
It's true.
Okay, so let's move on. Yeah, shall we? What the heck was that?
That was the moving on, sound effect. It's production.
Por Dios. Okay, let's do this, guys. Samba TV just came in with these numbers. RMB. The first episode of The Penguin, starring the dramatic transformation of Colin Farrell, is finally here. The show brought in a massive 3.2 million U.S. households over to HBO or Max to check out over its first 4 days. 4 days this has been happening since the last Thursday night. 3.2 million views. What is going on? What is your first take of episode 1 of the show? Let's go non-spoiler takes right now.
I thought it was, I really loved it. I mean, I'm a crime thriller fanatic. I mean, I'm doing my own crime thriller, producing a project right now. And I thought that it was beautifully, as far as a follow-up to the Batman, it set the tone for what I think IPs that are going to jump between movies and TV should do. It told us a great story. And a lot of people would say, yeah, it had elements of things that we've seen before, but that's because the milieu that we're working in is a familiar one, and there's only so far you can go with it. There's things that happen. And I was locked in. I thought it was a really brilliantly executed episode of TV. And it was smart. It was thoughtful. It was resonant. It was beautifully written, directed, acted. I thought it was a first-rate hour of entertainment.
So the numbers, don't lie. And then when they're great, it seems they're very willing to share the numbers, right? HBO with Samba. And you get this type of reaction off a first episode. Yeah, you got Colin Farrell, you have the Batman lore. People liked Colin's performance from the Batman. I think that was like the highlight for me. There's a lot of highlights. So to me, it was kind of an imperfect film, but there was a lot of highlights from the Batman. Colin was definitely up there, and this speaks to the importance they put on television writing R&B. These guys nailed the first episode.
Oh yeah, I thought so too.
I mean, they nailed it even with before they did opening credit. Because
they really did.
It was like a mixture of scenes from the ending of the Batman into a prologue.
Yep.
Gosh darn it, man! This was like,
I'm with you. It was great. I loved it. I thought it was great.
So we'll talk spoilers in a second. That way we can get into some nuggets. I will say that me and Romy know the consulting producer on this, and they brought her in because she is a television writer, genius, and it showed. And she shared a little bit of what she was going through. I don't want to until I can really get the AOK from her, because we all are good friends. I don't want to spill the beans too much, but I can tell you from her writing pedigree, I'm like, you can see her influence just in this first episode, which is called After Hours. So well, did we lose R&B, or he went off camera?
No, you didn't lose me.
No, he's there.
Oh, he's just off camera.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
I just leaned over. I didn't want to look unseen.
He leaned back.
So I'll open up with some spoilers a little bit, and we can just kind of riff from there. R&B. We saw it the other night, and then I saw it again today. And what I thought was a very slow, kind of like meandering beginning. When I saw it again, I'm like, no, these guys,
right.
These guys, there wasn't anything wasted in this show. It's amazing how we got to really connect with Oz just with that whole opening montage.
Oh yeah.
We got to see his disability, we got to see his fire, we got to see his psychosis, we got to see his vulnerability. And what does he do in the opening segment? He takes out the new crime boss, the heir apparent, because he laughed at me. That's what he tells his mother later on. What were your thoughts on the opening of it, this beginning?
I loved it. I mean, I love like the montage of all the different broadcasts and using footage from the first movie. But I have to say, I really love the scene after that when Oswald Cobb goes up into the apartment, the headquarters, whatever, and is looking through rummaging through everything.
It's his old. That's his old club. That's his club.
His old club, and he's up at the top of it, and then he finds what he needs to find, and then he gets confronted by the kid from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, who's now the heir. Yeah, I know, right? He was God. Mrs. Maisel's ex husband and stuff, and
oh my
he
God,
was great. He was so good. Wow. But the conversation they're having, you know, and it's funny because I felt the tension in this conversation arise, you know, and you watch Oswald, you watch Penguin just like listening, and then this kid becomes disrespectful. Then he starts going off, and I'm like, oh, and the tension rose, and I was like, I hate this kid. This kid is, and then just when you thought it was like, he whips out the gun and blows that kid away. Just not just one shot. It's like boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, at that moment, I'm like, oh, I'm in this. I'm so in. And you know, everyone's talking about the fact that I think people are waiting for the Batman to show up.
No,
I'm like, no, you don't need the Batman to show up.
No,
this is
screw the Batman.
Something else, you know. Right. And I was so in after that first scene in the opening montage because it's like, okay. And someone said it today on Chris Gore's show. This is the show that the Book of Boba Fett should have been.
Oh,
if you had taken all the story beats, that's what it should have been. It should have been like the Book of Boba Fett was the most. It was so disappointing, but it's about a man who shows up where there's a power vacuum, and you're watching Oswald Cobb deal with all these things, and finally getting to, rather than work for somebody, he's going to become the big boss, and he's making those moves that you're waiting for him to make. And it's really interesting, and it plays on the whole history of crime cinema, and it was so good. And that's what I wanted. I wanted the Book of Boba Fett to be Boba Fett's on the same journey that Oswald Cobb is on in the show, consolidating and taking over the underworld of the Star Wars universe. How do you do that? I don't know, but I want to see it, just like I want to see episodes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring on the Penguin.
So the first episode, it happens like a week or so after the end of the Batman, and he, because of being made fun of, he takes him out. So the rest of the episode is him trying to cover up the fact that he took him out, and there's you get introduced to all the other main characters that you're gonna see. Like this new kid that he befriends, which I thought was just a nice cherry on top. But also too, he runs into Sophia.
Oh my God!
Right. Yeah, let's talk about her.
How great is she?
Well, I was telling Roman, go, she's so scary that it's really sexy. Oh, Jesus, man. She is.
She would take you where you want to go, Paulie.
Oh, stop it. For real.
But again, they introduced this character who's so compelling and so much fun to watch, even though she's a complete around the bend psycho.
Yeah.
But awesome. That's the complexity of human life.
So this character, and we're going to find out more because obviously there's something going on with they have a past, but it looks like she's going to take over the Falcone, ventures or whatever. But she knows that he took her brother out, even though he's lying through his pants and he's finagled this, he's finagled that. She actually, because they have a lunch And she kind of gives him a Michael Corleone, I knew it was you, Fredo, you broke my heart moment. I mean, literally, she grabs him and whispers in his ear. It scares the shit out of him that he's gonna go grab his mom and they're gonna leave out of town, Rob.
I know. And isn't that interesting?
Very interesting. And then we got to see that whole side of his family, like who he comes from, where he comes from. And this little woman who's his mom got a little bit of a nod to Goodfellas. Hey, I wanted to come and see you. Well, you're beautiful. You're my princess. That
no,
that,
I just I just thought the show, you know, and look, is it crime tropes we've seen before in a million different things? Yes. Yes, you can sit there and but it's the way it's put together in the Batman universe with the Penguin, with Colin Farrell's character and all that they're doing. That's the joy of it. Enjoy it for not what it isn't. Enjoy it for what it is. And it's a great crime thriller. It really is.
I think exactly what you said. You know, so far, right? There's nothing that we haven't seen before. So it's very solid. The cast is amazing. Everyone in this cast.
Oh my God.
But what I see the influence. I see so many really wonderful influences. Let's talk about The Sopranos for a second.
Oh,
because The Sopranos had these strong women, written women characters that were so different from each other, like Tony's mom, to Carmine, to God, what was how can I forget Chris's girlfriends, Dre and Mateo. So okay, this really plays off of that and kind of we hadn't seen a female crime boss yet.
No.
And so that scares the shit out of him. We haven't seen a mom be proud of her son for being a gangster. And here's what happens in episode 1. Carmine scares the shit out of him to where he's going to go and get the Volvo and get his mom and get out of town. And what does the mom do? The mom says, stop being a pussy. Stop being a pussy. Who did I raise? Dude, that scene was, it's Romy's favorite scene. It might be one of my favorite scenes. It makes him stop and remember everything. She's like, you're so close to having it all.
Yep.
So this other female,
what a line.
You're so close to that. This other female makes him remember who he is. Some killer storytelling, guys.
It's great stuff. I mean, it's
this is everything we've been asking Hollywood for.
Yep.
We've been bitching and complaining. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rob.
No, that's what I was saying. I mean, the way you slayed it out, it's like, what's not to love? It's a crime thriller that's been thought through and everyone's working at their highest level. It's awesome to watch. It's so entertaining. Is it going to change your life? I think people now, Paulie, they've come to the conclusion that what they want these genre entertainments to be is like light shining down from heaven and turning you into a more spiritual being or something. That's not what's happening. It's a TV show. And it's a really good show where the authors of the episodes and the way they're shot, well, at least for this first episode, is amazing. And they're all on the same page and everyone seems to know what they're making. And we, the audience, feel that. We feel it. And I love that idea. I love it. It's great to see things like that because that's how we grew up, seeing movies that made you feel, where you felt the producers and the writer and the director really made it to be just the way it was for you. Awesome.
Well, and then there's this whole thing where, the last 10 years of representation, diversity.
Oh my God.
And we've seen the many failures. The majority have been failures, in my opinion. There's been some small successes. This is a an example of a success, right? You get your diversity
100%.
with the young Victor Aguilar, which I love the fact that Oswald knows perfect Spanish compared to Batman.
Oh yeah.
And Victor, the young kid, little Afro Latino guy from the same neighborhood as Penguin.
Right.
Little guy's got a stutter, got a disability as Penguin. You're hooked. You love that. That's how you do it, man.
100%.
This kid, Renzi Feliz, that's the actor's name. Very he's got a very likable
He's great.
presence so far. And it's an up and center character. We're gonna see where his story is gonna go. What are your so you saw the episode, rated in your head? Okay, it's this is what we want to see. What's your fear of it kind of like going somewhere or fate?
Well, my fear is always the same with every show. You have to make a pilot first, even though streaming shows get an ordered series where they're going to make it 6 or 8 episodes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
My only fear is that it can't keep up with that first episode or the second episode, that it can't keep up the level of quality. But I think it can, because with the pandemic, they had so long to develop these scripts. This is a tight noir mystery thriller.
Yeah.
And I really think this is going to be incredibly satisfying, because I think Marvel knew what they needed to do. And these are, kind of their secondary supporting characters of their flagship character. They needed to make a big splash, and they needed to make it great. So I think it's going to work. I do.
Yeah. I think so as well, my friend. And
I mean, already, if this is any indication, I can't imagine it going south next week or the week after. Or the week after.
Even from the scenes that they showed of this season on the Penguin, everything that I saw, and I saw it again today.
I know, right?
Because the characters that you got introduced to, you're just like from Carmine, from Sophia to Victor's character. Everyone's got some serious story there. The one character played by, what's her name? Carmen Ningogo.
Yeah,
she was
something
in
like that.
Your Honor. She's beautiful.
So good.
That's gonna be an interesting character, because we didn't get a lot from her other than that she she's paid for, what's the word I'm looking for? Female company.
Yeah.
Oswald,
Lady of the Evening.
Lady of the Evening, and Oswald, in this case, paid her to be his cover, that she was, he was with her from these hours.
Yep.
So we'll see where that goes to, but it was some great characters, man. Some fantastic, and it's so funny that you say that about Book of Boba Fett, because if Book of Boba Fett was a little, just like a sliver of what this was.
Oh my God. I mean, I always compare one show or movie to another, because people need to have ideas what to make it like.
Mm-hmm.
Abel Ferrara's King of New York, with Christopher Walken, a drug lord who gets out of jail and has to consolidate his business and everything that happens to him. To me, just look at that movie and rip it off. That's what Lucas did, and not in a bad way. He wrote it himself and changed it enough to make it his, but the structure is there, the story is there, the villain is there, the character interplay is there. Why not let it go? Go make that movie. Why not?
Well, there you have it, guys. That's our talk about where's Fletcher at? Fletcher, you with us?
Yeah. Just when the wind start picking up, the interflex starts flexing.
Okay. Let's bring up any super chats, Penguin talk, anything like that, so we can answer them and then move on to our final topic of the night.
Makaneva for $2. I'm reluctant because I got burned with Gotham.
I never saw Gotham.
You never saw Gotham?
No.
Well, it's funny because it goes to the other one where it says, Latina, did you ever watch Gotham?
No, I did not.
Just as you were drinking. Nice. Perfect timing.
Well, I would say that the people that made the Batman are deeply involved in making this as well.
I will say too that the consulting producer and what she's created in the past, she's very good at dark shit. Yeah.
We did have a comment that says when character development meets great acting, the results are so engaging.
Yeah,
I think it's
totally
agree with you
Man,
guys.
absolutely.
Tim Morrow says the Penguin show sounds like what the Book of Boba Fett should have been.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Wow. They keep calling him cop, which is more mobster than anything comic.
I think it's a good, because you asked me earlier the other day, you know, is it a comic book? I'm like, it gets comic book friendly, but it's within this mobster world, but it's not just a mobster world, because there is some heightened reality in there that's kind of, you know, and I say even him taking on Victor, that little simple storyline comes out of a comic book. I feel that's just my take. What do you think?
And if you want, you can see what a sequel to this might look like with my own audio drama, True Noir.
You have a power. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, but no,
let's get through these and then we'll bring it.
What I was going to say though is that, I mean, I think that the idea of the consolidation of power, an underboss trying to become, I mean, what I love about the story, it is an underdog story. You know, even though it's in the world of crime, you have Oswald Cobb trying to take what he is earned, what he's deserved over the years, and it's really compelling human drama. And I, for one, I want him to win. He went from being a sleazy club guy and the Batman to somebody who I really want to see that guy win and triumph.
All right. We got I was bummed by what happened to Alberto. I wanted him around.
Yeah. Wait, Alberto?
Did you guys want Alberto around?
Who's Alberto?
Yeah, which Alberto?
Which Alberto?
Was that the kid with the hubcaps or something?
No.
Oh.
Let us know, Ralph.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. No, I'm thinking about it.
But we had a super chat, so thank you for the super chat. This is for you. We'll be right back.
The low rider is a little higher.
Oh, son of Falcone.
The best clips.
Was that his first? I thought it was Alonzo or Alfonso. Okay. It was a good
that was the opening scene.
That was the opening scene.
No.
I misunderstood you, but what was interesting about that was as that scene went along, you see that Oswald's trying to, be respectful, be honest, and then that kid just becomes completely dishonorable and starts getting in Penguin's face.
Yeah.
And it's like that kid is unfit to rule.
Correct.
Penguin just took him out.
Yeah.
Because he already gave up his cards. The Penguin, by killing Falcone's son, protected the realm. He made the hard choice. Might not have been the best thing to do, but he knew what he did was protect everyone by killing that kid.
Nice.
I think.
That's a great take.
Nice, yeah. Macadema with a $5, say it and it will come true. And Gotham Jada Pickett was a monster, and Penguin and Riddler are a couple.
They were a couple?
I think, yeah, they had this one thing where, it was a little bit of a, like, later on. I think it was kind of like almost towards the final season where they did something something like that. There was
Yeah.
a lot of that in the later seasons.
Huh.
That persuasion of like everybody with everybody thing. I remember that part.
I mean, yeah, I'm probably not going to check it out. Especially now, I just want to watch this penguin. Don't want to be.
I mean, the real question is, if you're going to make somebody that way, pay it off. What are you going to do with those characters? What is making them LGBTQ do for the story you're telling? Is it a great storytelling idea that drives narrative or not?
I
don't know.
All right. Muchas gracias, Michael Nemo.
Those videos never cease to crack me up. So good.
I know. No, and it never, what never gets old is that you can always find more of these old guys doing, screaming like this. And
yeah.
That's how you do the new ones. Okay, thank you so much. All the super chats, we love it. Anything else right now? No, let's go. We're gonna move on.
Moving on
to one of our. We're gonna go from. Where are we going from?
We're going to the land of
Rising Sun.
Hollywood horror, right?
The substance is brilliantly disgusting and deranged. I agree. Let's talk a little bit about The Substance and Demi Moore. You heard my audio review walking out of the theater the other day. Let's just read a couple lines here in regards to in its first 2 hours, Substance is a well-made entertaining movie. Writer director, I can't say her French name, treats the audience with a heavy dose of biting social commentary on ageism.
Caroline Frege.
Caroline Frege. The spoonful of sugar and sparkle douse body horror. But the film's deliciously unhinged, blood-soaked, and inevitably polarizing third act is what makes it unforgettable. Everyone's talking about this third act. What begins as a dread-inducing but relatively palatable sci-fi flick spirals deeper into absurdism and violence, eventually erupting quite literally into a full-blown monster movie. Let the viewer decide who the monster is. Robert Meyer Burnett did an out of the theater video, Instagram style. Never seen it before.
What?
It was great. It was the best.
It was the best video ever.
Best video ever. Unbelievable.
It's the best video, best out of the theater experience ever. It's gonna be big.
See it. He's the best.
It's gonna be huge.
Dude,
I was stoked.
You this was a big anticipation for you.
Yeah.
Did it meet your anticipation?
It did. I mean, here's the thing. I scale my expectations based on genre and things, what I'm seeing. And to understand, like, I don't judge, say, a movie like The Rise of Skywalker coming out to a movie like this. Because you have to understand, like, how much money was spent, how many people were involved. And Caroline Frege, what I find fascinating about her is I own her previous movie that came out in 2017 called Revenge, which is
you saw that? Okay.
Yeah, I own it. A rape revenge thriller. And she clearly just has an incredible command of cinematic language. So when I saw this, obviously I could probably pick out all this comes from this comes from this comes from this.
Mm-hmm.
But watching it, I took Elizabeth. I was just wildly entertained from scene to scene. I'm just like, woohoo. And when it was over, I hooted and hollered in the audience, and people just looked at me. Thought it was the 5 other people in the theater. They're like, what did you just watch, dude? I'm like, I just watched something that was awesome. But to me, it was a great coda to Cronenberg's body horror stuff. And it had so many intriguing questions, and the way it unfolded was so interesting. It was just interesting. And what you want is more than anything to be entertained for 90 minutes or 2 hours. And the substance I thought was monumentally entertaining, really entertaining. I loved it.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about, let's go a little spoiler. Let's talk a little bit about the story, right? And let me bring up a little photo. Let's bring up the three main characters. Well, the three main actors, different actors, right?
Sure.
So everyone knows about Demi Moore in her character. Elizabeth Sparkle is an aging actress in Hollywood. I believe she had won an Academy Award back in the day, or got a Walk of Fame star. She got her name she got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. They show it. It's a beginning and the end of the movie. Very well. So we get this great background that, she's older. It's her 50th birthday. Still doing her aerobics show a la Jane Fonda. And Dennis Quaid is her boss. Kind of very, over the top Terry Gilliam style, filter of, the men who run Hollywood.
Well put.
Yeah, loved it. And then I forget this woman's name. The actress.
Was she right? Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley.
Andy McDowell's daughter.
Yeah, it's Margaret Qualley.
And he plays the cloned version, the younger version of Elizabeth Sparkle. Because what happened was Elizabeth is fired because she's too old. And to move on. Dennis Quaid, 50, move on. Very weird lunch they had. Hollywood lunch. She was fired over a Hollywood lunch in public.
Yeah.
And Demi becomes so desperate to hang on that she's introduced to this thing called the substance. Call this number. There's all these rules and all this strange stuff. Basically, it's she squirts some substance in her, and a clone comes out of her spine. It was freaking gross.
So gross.
It was really good. So those are the kind of the three characters going on there. Would you like to add anything there, RMB?
Well, I mean, I've met people like that. I recognize people like that. And I myself realize that when you're working in a youth-oriented business like Hollywood, you're always going to get to a point where you think you're going to be youthful forever, but you're not. And I thought one of the great subtexts of this movie was casting Demi Moore in this role.
Right.
Because I was talking about this today. I mean, if you think about it, she was in Ghost, one of the sexiest, most romantic movies ever made. Everybody wanted to be her. You had Born on the 4th of July, where he plays, or probably not, what am I saying? Born on the 4th of July.
St. Elmo's Fire.
Yeah, St. Elmo's Fire. And so Demi Moore is a woman that we have watched grow up. And now she's in real life 61 years old playing a 50-year-old. And remember when she was on the cover of Vanity Fair as a naked, she was pregnant with her first child?
Oh, yeah, that was huge.
So Demi Moore, and also she's clearly,
and then when she cut her hair for the short.
Oh yeah, so her real life story, if you've grown up with Demi Moore, as we all have, Demi Moore is that character, not just an aerobics instructor. So in my mind, I was constantly thinking, like, when she's looking at herself and in the mirror and examining what she looks like, and like anybody would, as you get older, you watch this fleshy meat sack deteriorate. It's so wild to watch Demi Moore, who was married to a younger man, and Austin Kutcher, and married to Bruce Willis. And I can't imagine anyone better to cast in this role.
Mm.
She was so good. And she brought this perfect baggage to it as well, which is the best part.
I mean, Demi back in the day was super sexy because she had that voice,
on
she
the
had
lips,
that pouty look, and this is a photo of her, and and it's so funny because you're seeing Margaret have those qualities as well, the other actress, but you're right, we did in a sense known her for decades, and you're also right too, is that Demi kind of lived Elizabeth Sparkle's character, her life.
In real life, and that's what makes it so fascinating. And the camera's always really close up on her eyes and her body, like she's looking into the mirror, and you feel her pain. You totally get it. And I thought she was cast because of who she is and what she's done over the years and where she is now. I mean, she brings an authenticity, a pain, a real pain, a soulful pain, crying out.
Nice.
I mean, she has an old friend from high school she runs into, and he wants to take her out, and she can't bring herself to go. Oh,
because she can't even. And that's what you're seeing in a lot of the promo footages of her like screwing with her face. It's because she's so unhappy with the way she looks, and all she's doing is getting ready to go out on a date with this old nerd guy in high school. That is probably the only pure soul in the film.
But so good.
That is great. But you're absolutely right. Let me share this. This is the movie.
Right.
I'd imagine, I don't know if you got any information in regards to the French writer director, if she tapped into this when she was writing.
Well, I think it has to be part of it. I don't think she'd ever say it out loud, but we know when you watch it.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Full frontal nudity, both characters, butt naked, just so you guys know.
But not sex.
There's no sex.
A lot of nudity of women walking around looking at themselves in mirrors.
Right.
I find titillating too, but
And what's interesting too is that that the sex scenes were actually very tame.
Yeah, they were.
They were almost I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is.
Subdued.
Cronenbergian,
a little surgical.
Yeah.
A little surgical, a little clinical, definitely not there was no beauty or in it. Yeah. And I don't say like looking at beauty, I'm saying like just like no heart, no warmth. So yeah, and here's a shot in regards to Elizabeth Sparks' condo, and that she has this huge photo of herself,
which is great because why not?
Because why not? But that's all she has. She didn't have any friends, no family. No. They're not even mentioned in the movie.
No.
It's incredibly sad.
Well, and also the profound loneliness of middle age. She's this hot chick with money and she's got billboards and she goes home and she has nothing. She's got a neighbor next door who, oh my God, I can't believe I live next to you. And then that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she has a great mid-century modern coffee, like dining table there. That looks good.
But it's all cold and like disconnected. So yeah, this is her. I think this is Sue.
Yes, Sue is her alter ego.
Sue is her alter ego. Like this is like her first day after being born, and she's just like stretching, filling herself out. Not literally, but like feeling life out. Really a great intro, great entrance to her character, man. Wow.
No, I just found this movie wildly entertaining. Were there a lot of elements from other movies that were judiciously utilized? Sure, but that's okay to me. It was a different experience, and I really enjoyed it. I've seen it twice, and I just I had a hoot.
You've
at
seen
the
it
movie.
twice.
Yeah.
Wow.
You've seen it twice already. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I took Elizabeth the first time and I saw it another time with myself. And what does that mean?
Get
your minds out of the gutter.
Hey.
But no, and it was the first time we saw it. There was a total of 7, including us, people in the theater.
Yeah.
No one went, but when I went back, there's a lot today. As a matter of fact, there was a lot more people in the theater, even on a Monday afternoon, which I was like, oh, people heard about it. Okay.
I met up with my buddy Mike MC Wong. He's in the house. We saw it the other night, and he actually had already seen it, but he like stayed with me to watch the first half, man. And it was a packed house. It was
I
in
love
Burbank.
that. Love it.
And I was like, so, I had gotten out pretty late from the show. It was like a late showing. I know it's a long film. Didn't feel long.
No, it's like 2 hours and 21 minutes, and it flies by.
And, I think before we get to the ending, in my review, which was just reaction, no spoilers, we talked about the placements and the importance of billboards in the Hollywood culture and the main thoroughfares of La Brea and La Cienega.
Oh, yeah, and Sunset.
Going in and out of Sunset, that these are placed not for anyone who might want to see the film or anyone who might want to see the TV show. These are placed strategically for people that are in it, that are maybe exec produce it, so the narcissists can see themselves on a billboard.
Right there with you. 100%.
Man, this was an incredible element in the film. And the fact that the French pointed this out, like, those fucking French.
I know.
It's always the French, man.
Those friggin' French. I almost want to do a series of videos where, like, I just go, which is really close to here. Show people I'm not lying. This thoroughfare is here. Look, here's the new Beetlejuice facing northwards.
Yep.
Why is it facing northwards? Because Netflix is down the street or something like that,
Yep. 100%.
Why is there this gaudy Lord of the Rings of Power bus stop? Well, it's in West Hollywood. It's the main bus stop going into West Hollywood. That's who they want. Seriously, I want to do videos on this, Robert, because this inspired me. It
should. I mean, but you're absolutely right. And that's the thing about this movie was I thought it was meticulously directed. I thought it was beautifully staged. Everything about it. I called it the Blade Runner of body horror because it just every shot was so essential to creating the mood and what was going to happen.
Nice.
I mean, it was beautiful, just beautiful.
Okay, so everyone's talking about the ending. This Frankenstein type of ending,
but it was a hoot. I loved it.
What did Elizabeth think of the ending?
She thought it was silly, and I get it. I understand, because at the end of the day, women and men are different. Women are pragmatists. Men are like, I'm going to write an epic poem, and a woman will say to you, "That's great, honey. I'll support you, but where's dinner coming from?" It's that kind of thing. And I think that the end of the movie, by going as over the top, it totally moves into another realm. I thought it showed how desperate women are when they're facing aging. I didn't take it at face value. It's like, this is the absurdity of what they have to go through. It was metaphoric in its huge, crazy endeavor. At least that's how I saw it. And I was laughing. In the theater, I was howling.
Well,
when it starts spewing blood on everyone, dude, I could barely keep it down. I was just like,
you were loving it.
God. I was loving it because it's hilarious.
I mean, there's
it's way over the top.
Yeah, it reminded me of the fat gluttonous man in was it The Meaning of Life?
Oh yeah, give me a bucket, I gotta puke.
you know, lard ass in Stand and Deliver.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
who won the pie eating contest?
Won the pie eating contest and just threw up over, you know, everyone. I mean, it was a fucking brilliantly subversive ending.
Yeah.
That was just offensive, and that was the whole point.
I loved it so much.
You know, this person wanted to be loved so much that she, you know, she became this monster of an amalgamation of Sue and Sparkle.
But a great monster.
Great monster, and she put on Demi's face. Oh my god. And she ended up being a blob that crawled to her star on the Hollywood.
I know that ending was so perfect.
So listen, I love it, and I got it on so many levels. I'm wondering if you're not involved in Hollywood though, would you dig this film?
Look, I think as a 2-hour and 21-minute horror romp, I think it works. I think it takes you to places you haven't seen before. I think it makes you think about things you might not have seen before. And it's a hoot to watch, because as you watch this situation develop, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you're like, oh my God, wow. It's so wildly entertaining. It just really is. So
you think it works? You think it works that it's kind of inside baseball, baseball, but
yeah, totally.
But it still works for all kinds of audiences.
Yeah, but I think it's not going to work for audiences either. So
correct. And I also said that, you know, that means, I mean, it's probably up there top 3 movies of the year for me.
Right, me too.
But I know, just like Challengers, I know people are gonna hate this movie.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they're gonna hate it.
They're gonna hate, because I know people hated Challengers. You know.
They totally
yeah. Okay. Well, that's our substance talk, guys. I wanted to get R&B on it. Like, oh,
man, I think everybody should go see it. Go with your friends. Get into the big. Find out if you're going to a theater that's almost sold out. Because boy, seeing this movie with an audience is a hoot. It's a hoot, because they don't know what they're coming to see.
What do we got, Fletcher? Then I want to promote Robert's Film Noir. We still have over 88 people hanging out with us on X and in YouTube.
Nice.
What do we got?
Daniel T. The Substance and A Different Man have similar premises.
Different Man. I didn't see that.
Is that you're talking about the Coen Brothers movie?
I believe so.
A Simple Man? Yeah, that's kind of different. In a way, I can see that.
All right.
I really want Romy to see this film, because she loves horror. She loves thriller.
She'll love it.
And she's an actor in the business. I'm like,
totally, she'll love it.
I can't wait for her to watch it, man. We were watching Monsters a lot, the Menendez brothers. We started watching that one last night.
I can't wait to watch it.
I mean,
I'll feel bad I'm watching it, but
I feel bad, but it's just so badly good. All right.
Spidey Sense 72, gotta admit, I was totally amazed when I found out about the prosthetics used on Sue's body.
Oh, she had prosthetics?
Yeah, those are not her real boobs.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? She even says, she goes, my boobs aren't that big and that shapely. So she had, and that prosthesis is perfect.
Wow. I did not know that, dude. Oh, that's a bummer.
Cinema.
Yeah, because I'd run away from home and just go be with her forever.
Oh, wow, man. Wow.
Is the Substance Ozempic?
Ozempic.
Say, bastard, great member of the channel.
Well, it wasn't when they made the movie, but I certainly think it's kind of become that way.
Yeah, because Ozempic is like the Hollywood drug right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Critical Thinker says, I also thought she was perfect for the role. Also, Melanie Griffiths.
Ooh, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, totally.
Nice.
The thing is that they have to. There's a certain amount of humility that they would have to do this role.
Yeah, totally. And Demi Moore is fearless.
Yeah,
just fearless, man.
She's gonna get nominated for sure, man. She needs to get nominated for this. It's that type of performance.
Yeah, it's amazing performance.
All right, Bonzo says, was Demi a better stripper in Striptease, better than Salma from Dusk Till Dawn?
No. No one was better than Selma in From Dusk Till Dawn in any movie ever made. I don't care what you say. Come at me, bro.
Come at me.
My only thing is yes to both, because Demi, that's a pure stripper role performance. Salma didn't strip down. That was a seductive, I'm going to kill everyone because I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna own these male dudes. And then
come on.
No,
she was in that bikini. Ooh.
But I'm saying she didn't strip down into, like, it wasn't a stripper.
But she
was more of a burlesque.
So sexy.
Oh, it was amazing. Are you kidding me? It's amazing.
I still remember Angeline. I think Mike Wong's talking about the billboards.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, that was very much a that's like that's a kind of different. That's a different Hollywood story.
Yeah, it really is.
These billboards I'm talking about, we can go back to that one. These billboards I'm talking, whoa, that has to do with these videos. Yes, Julissa. These videos, these billboards I'm talking about are like put on by the studios.
Sure.
Put on by Angeline. She actually, if anything, she probably bought her own billboards.
She did.
You know, which you know, this has always been like that type of narcissism in Hollywood and LA has been going on for so long that even the lawyers have billboards and commercials. Very flashy commercials. All right, go on.
Julissa was commenting on you doing the videos about the billboards.
I'm thinking about it, man. I'm thinking about, because I think especially with the genre stuff, you guys would get a kick out of that Rings of Power bus stop.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, dude?
Rings of Power?
No, the bus stop.
No,
because you're not around. Yeah, it's right on the corner of La Brea and Santa Monica Boulevard.
Oh, that's a great. I know that bus station very well.
It's a great.
What a great place to be. Everybody drives past that too.
Everybody. And it's like you're going into, you're passing Formosa Cafe, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go on.
Tar Plato says, everyone wish R&B a happy birthday yet.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
It was my real birthday yesterday.
Oh, well. Daniel T says, blood spraying over everyone equals contamination. They could all get side effects. Only person who'd known about it is the old guy who confronted Demi in the bar, who seemed to have taken the drug.
Yes.
Confirm, don't confirm.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that guy, you know, we see the first manifestation of what the split means. You know, that young kid is the old guy in the bar who tracks her down, you know, and says, is she taking anything from you yet?
Right.
And that was the precursor to her taking more days and the folly of youth and, you know, all that. It was so good. So good.
Wow.
Nice. And Courtney, Fellowship of Oddballs, member of the channel, says, stabbed by me. I think it's a little it's a tongue-in-cheek there.
Words there, yeah.
But Maganabo, another $2. Boom. Muchas gracias. Sounds like death becomes her a little bit.
I think it's doing different things than death becomes her. They cross over, obviously, because you have two women battling each other out. But I think the way what this has to say about the media and what it has to say about Hollywood and actresses and aging is very different than what happens in Death Becomes Her. Yeah,
Death Becomes Her. There's, you know, it's very charming and it's in light at times in its subject matter and the way in its comedy. It's a great film.
It is.
There's nothing charming and light and warm in this movie. I'm telling you.
You're gonna catch hell for that.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. Just saying, man.
On a different note, says Big Dream says he just walked out of Megalopolis, a special IMAX early screening event. Wow, what a bonkers creative movie! Insane, very art house. Sadly, almost certainly will be a commercial flop.
Wow.
One of our
This
greats.
is Francis Ford Coppola's new movie coming out this week.
Yeah.
He's wanted to make this for years. He sold part of his wine business to make the money to finance this himself, and he's put his money where his mouth is.
Again, I would say just support it on that alone. As we talk about, there's nothing original in Hollywood anymore, or American filmmakers. He's the last of a dying breed, man. This is the last
Right.
film.
Totally.
And speaking of original, boom.
Oh,
Segue.
R&B has a project, guys, and we are getting some new updates as he's chomping away. Maybe we should wait until you stop chomping.
I'm eating. I shouldn't be eating on a live stream, but
yeah, it's all right, dude. You're R&B.
I'm
R&B. You want to wash it down before you start talking?
No, I'm good. So
okay, go ahead.
Here's the thing. So because of my Let's Get Physical media show that I do on Sundays, I was able to meet writer Max Allan Collins, who watches the show. And I was like, oh my God, Max Allan Collins has written 100 novels, but he wrote Road to Perdition, the graphic novel that was turned into the Tom Hanks film in the early 2000s. So let's see, I have a stack of things. Let me move them here. So I met Max and we started talking about doing something together. And this book, True Detective, Max wrote, I came out in 84. And he started writing the stories, the travails of a detective named Nathan Heller. And Nathan Heller, the reason that we couldn't use the title True Detective. So the reason we use the title True Noir is that Nathan Heller is a fictional character, but in the 19 novels that he stars in, he gets embroiled in real historical events with real historical people. And I said to Max, I mean, I could never raise the money to do a streaming series. So what if we did an audio drama? And what if we approached it like it was a movie? So instead of being a book on tape or an audio drama like you've heard, he's going to write the script. He adapted his own novel, and we mixed it and made it sound like it was a movie. And I said to him, it's going to be like cinema, but without the pictures. And we have done that. And I went, and my business partner, Mike Bodden, and I, we had Max write it and his partner, Phil Dingledine, come on as a producer. And I hired Christine Sheeks, who had worked with the Coen brothers, cast the movie Boogie Nights, worked on Moonlighting. And I said, we need an indie, like a cool Quentin Tarantino cast for this. And we started casting it. And we cast people like Katie Sackhoff and Bill Sadler, who played Death in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and who was the villain in Die Hard 2, and he was in Shawshank Redemption and Trespass and a million other things. Jeffrey Combs, who was Dr. Herbert West in Reanimator, and who was Weyoun and Shran in Star Trek. And Katie Sackhoff, who you know, obviously from The Mandalorian and from Starbuck and Galactica, and on other things like Longmire, which we saw her in, and I loved her in that. So we cast all of these crazy actors, and Michael Rosenbaum who played Lex Luthor on Smallville. He has the Inside of You podcast. He plays our lead. And it's a 10-chapter, 7-hour audio drama that adapts the first novel. And the story is really interesting. The story takes place after Al Capone was jailed, like you saw in The Untouchables. He was jailed for tax evasion, and his second in command, Frank Nitti, who's played by David Strathairn in our audio drama, moves up to take over the Chicago mobs. Elliot Ness, played by Kevin Costner in The Untouchables, is a main character in our story, played by Jesse Spencer, who was the Australian doctor on House, and also is on Chicago Fire. He plays Elliot Ness. And so the story deals with our detective as you're at the end of Prohibition and 4 years into the Great Depression. and the mobs are still trying to consolidate power in Chicago. And the new mayor of Chicago, played by Jeffrey Combs, Anton Cermak, wants to fight crime. The mayor and his police lackeys try and kill Frank Nitti. And Frank Nitti may or may not be responsible for going after Mayor Cermak. And in real life, Chicago Mayor Cermak was assassinated in Miami at a Franklin Delano Roosevelt political rally after he became the president-elect. And the question is, was someone really trying to kill Roosevelt? Or was it a mob hit on Cermak using a political rally for cover? And so in that milieu, we tell this entire story. And it's my favorite thing I've ever worked on. I have a great script from Max Allan Collins. I have an incredible group of actors. And I'm directing the whole thing, producing it, and I'm editing it now. When I'm not online, I'm editing right here on this computer. And
Man,
I'm
that's
so proud of it.
Quite a statement. You keep adding actors, is that correct? Or
Yeah,
you
it's
just
all cast now. The last
Okay.
actor we're recording is Patton Oswalt on Thursday. I still have a
Nice.
little bit more to do with Michael Rosenbaum, but we've got 25 name actors, and then we have what's called a Walla group, which is a bunch of actors doing all these small parts. And people going, hey, oh my God, look out. You know, that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's great, man.
Dude, working
So
with great
you s-
people, it's amazing.
So we still need dollars to help out the production guys. Go and support this. Is that true?
Well, yeah, so here's the thing.
Mhm.
We got equity financing to make it, but we did a Kickstarter to sell it, so you can, which helps us.
Gotcha.
We had a small Kickstarter. We were just looking for 30,000. We ended up making 52,000, but we still need more money because between you and I, the project's much more expensive than that. But what you can do is pre-order it, and each episode will be available for like $2.99. But if you want to get it cheaper, and if you want to get it first, you can go to our Kickstarter campaign at True Noir. So TRUENOIR.
Yeah, we have it in the chat.
And you can pre-order those. There's a Blu-ray that has behind-the-scenes documentaries and video stuff, and multiple mixes of the show. And when I say I'm mixing it, like, I really wish I could put this. My dream is to have a red carpet premiere in LA, which you will come to.
Nice.
So will you, Fletcher. Where we go into a movie theater and we turn off all the lights and make it like pitch black. We can't turn off the exit signs, but we turn off the lights. So it is the theater of the mind, but the sound field will envelop you like you're watching Avatar.
Oh,
Nice.
It's that cool because we're mixing it. Characters talk to each other like it's a movie. So it's not a book on tape. It's not like an audio drama you've heard before. It really feels like it's a movie without the picture.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And Paulie, you'll love this as a channel that supports music. Our composer, Alexander Bornstein, is going to end up composing about 5 hours of original score.
dang.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, I love that, man. This is amazing, man. This is amazing. It's a lot of work, huh?
Oh, dude, it's so. I mean, we started recording actors on May 27th, and I'm still recording them now.
Wow.
So we recorded actors. When they're in different cities, we have two different. We have our LA recording studio, and then whatever studio. So we've recorded in Sydney, Australia, Boston, New York, Orlando, Florida. C. Thomas Howell was in Dallas, Texas when we recorded him. Katie Sackhoff, I know, Pony Boy. Katie Sackhoff was in Portland, and then we did a lot of New York City recording. So it's been amazing, really amazing.
So cool.
All right, there you guys have it. Make sure you guys go and check it out. And Pre-order it.
Yeah, and I if you like dark dark crime thrillers, noir stuff,
Yeah.
it's really good. And you know what's really funny to me? You know, when I'm directing and producing a project, the thing that's most fun is to get all these other talented people
Mm-hmm.
to come on and contribute. And so I'm more of like an orchestrator. I'm like, hey, let's go. And Christine and I, the casting director, my supervising producer, we picked out all of our actors. It was very bespoke. We're like, can we get this person? And like the first person I recorded with was Anthony LaPaglia, who plays Al Capone. He played Al Capone in Road to Perdition, but his part was cut out. He only had one scene.
Right.
So I'm like, because it's Max Allan Collins and all that, and he wrote the original graphic novel, Road to Perdition. I wonder if we can get Anthony to come back and play Capone 20 years later.
Wow.
And I went after him. I'm like, can we get him? And it's funny because the material was so good, and we'd only need him to record for a couple hours. He was actually on stage doing Death of a Salesman in Sydney, Australia. And he had one dark day, which means a day he's not performing, which was his Monday, and it would be our Sunday. And he goes, yeah, man, I'll do it. And I'm like, really? And we paid everybody well. No one's going to buy a car or anything, but we paid people normally like SAG voiceover rates are $150 a day. Well, I'm not going to get Anthony LaPaglia, an Emmy Award winner, for $150 a day, but we paid a good, fair rate. But we were able to get, because people love the material and they only had to work for 2 or 3 hours. So it's been amazing. And I'm sitting here, I'm putting together actors that work like a month and a half apart, but I'm cutting them together as if they were in the same room together. And unlike animation, like when you're recording an animated show, somebody goes into a booth and talks. But for us, it wouldn't work. So I hired a good friend of mine, and a great actor named Corey Landis, and I gave him a part. He plays Walter Winchell, a real character in the show, but he read with all the actors. So he played all the different parts and read opposite the actors. So I was getting performances that I couldn't have got if they were recording alone. And they're so good. It's so much fun to listen to, if I do say so myself, because no one's heard it. But I'm just sitting here putting these scenes together. I'm like, wow. And when the scenes come together and they're great, like Katie Sackhoff plays Michael Rosenbaum's fiance, and they break up. And she like cried at the end, like when I'm recording her.
Wow.
And he's upset, and putting the two performances together, recorded 2 months apart, it sounds like they're in the room together, and I'm getting all like verklempt. I'm like, this is amazing. So it's not because of me. It's because, I hired all these different people and trusted them. Mm-hmm. So then I get all this stuff to work with, and when I put it together, it makes me look like a genius. But really, it's Max Allan Collins' script, and it's the incredible actors that we hired.
Yeah, you get the script, then you can just copy and paste your performance.
Yeah, and I'm directing the performances, which I'm proud of doing, because I think I've got everything that we need. And wow, it's so cool. So if you want, you can go to truenoir.co. It's our Kickstarter page, and you can pre-order it in different formats. Now, here's my dream. It's not on the Kickstarter page. I want to do a vinyl box set, 11 or actually 12 records, all 10 episodes plus the 2-volume soundtrack album on vinyl. Everyone thinks I'm crazy.
Nice.
That's crazy.
But how cool would that be?
That's so cool, man.
Each episode would get a disc, and then you have a 2-volume soundtrack album.
That's a lot of money, then. But that's
I know we have to sell it for like $500 on heavy, and maybe only 4 people in the world would buy it. But I think if it comes out and people like it, we might be able to do that, because it's just so cool. And I would love it. I mean, when I was a kid, I had all those story records I'd listen to forever. So,
I'd
love to do it.
I mean, it's great that it's amazing. It's amazing, man.
Yeah. The thing is, though, to be honest, I have no idea if people are going to like it. I know that when I say it's one of my favorite things I've worked on, because I have kind of complete creative control.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's my taste. Like I went out and got all these people and put them all together. Now it's my job to make all these talented people, all their work come together and make it great. And if it's not great, I fucked up. All these other people have turned in really, really, really good work. And I'm so excited to work with them. I'm so proud of everybody that busted their ass.
We're gonna
And
love it, man.
I just hope people. I hope I'm worthy. I hope I'm worthy.
It's weird, man. It's weird, you know. It's and you never get used to it because I know you've done other couple of films now, you know, in different roles. With the novel that came out, you know, we sold a couple hundred. It's incredible. I'm getting some reviews back. Some people really get it. Some people didn't. But they were like, wow, you know, look at what you created. I can't wait till the next one. And it's like, oh man, I got to find time to finish the next one.
Well, and the fact, I mean, think about the fact that you had to sit down in front of a blank page and fill it. And you know, my friend, God, who was telling me, oh, I have a friend named Rob G. And Rob G is big in the horror community, and he has a friend, and Rob G made a great documentary called Analog Love that's about the art of making mixtapes. Really good documentary. And a friend of his who's a filmmaker that, you know, had some great success and then not so much success when he's not getting hired anymore. And the filmmaker said, look, you know, there's so much stuff out there. When you make something, all you can do is make the best thing that you can make. But the fact is you made it and it's out in the world and people will like it or people won't like it.
That's right.
But it's out in the world and you never know. It's you did it.
Yeah. And
you created something that would not exist. And it doesn't matter whether it becomes, you know, $100 million grossing blockbuster or it sells 100 copies. The fact is you created something that didn't exist in the entirety of the universe. Only you could have brought it forth. And the reward is in the doing.
Correct. And
although it's tough because you want to make money and you want people to read it. I get it. It's a bitter pill to swallow. But the fact is you never know when someone's going to discover your book and it's going to be there forever. You'll be selling it forever.
Yeah, it's neat. It's neat to see.
By the way, Paulie, tell us the title of the book and where can people get it?
You got links all over the channel there, Latino Slant. They call me Charleston. You know, and what's neat is to see people still, you know, buying the because it's also, what do you call it? Kindle?
Yeah.
The layout looks great. It's really cool. Or you can print the book on demand because we're with bookbaby.com. It's just out of sight, man. And so I think the next thing with that I'm going to do is a live reading of it. Just me.
Yeah, you should.
So we'll set that up. We'll be standing up, that whole thing. You know, but I'm just like, you know, this is my little thing. There's the poster of one of our main characters. But what you did and what you're still doing,
I'm in the middle of making it.
That is nuts, man.
Well, look, we could never have, I would love to have done a streaming show, but we couldn't have. I mean, doing it would have cost, if you did our audio episodes are like 35 minutes long. And if we were to shoot them, it would have been $5 to $10 million, especially with our actors. So there's no way. I mean, but here's my plan. I want to do 4 or 5 of these adaptations over the next 2 years and use them as a proof of concept and say, okay, look, if you guys like this, Michael Rosenbaum, because he's already been on TV, we bring him over and we do the 3 books set in the 60s, because the 19 books go from the early 30s to the late 60s.
Nice.
So they span a 30-year period of time. So I'm going to do 5 books that take us up to the 60s. And then we have 3 books in the 60s, and we sell it as a streaming show, as a private eye in the 1960s, dealing with the death of Marilyn and JFK and RFK and all the civil rights and the Beatles and the entire tumultuous 1960s, but we do it in live action. That's what I hope. We'll see.
Nice.
It's a pipe dream, but right now I just want to finish this thing, and it'll be out in mid to end of October.
Wow.
Well, we can't wait, man. I can't wait for the LA event. Me and Romy will be there, and that would be a lot of fun.
Oh, it'll be great. I'm just going to invite all YouTubers and all friends to promote it. But what I want to do is make the speech, and I just have a dream of turning off all the lights and no projector goes on. It's pitch black except for the exit signs. Total pitch black.
Oh,
and
man.
Crank up the volume and say, I invite you to sit back for 70 minutes and listen to True Noir.
I love it, man.
Nice. Nice. Awesome.
Well, we always love having you here, man.
Thanks for having me. It's always fun. Good discussion, by the way. Thank you. Thank you guys for being open-minded and letting, and your audience as well, chatting.
Yeah,
this is what we want.
Well, and on Fridays we've been doing the political show.
Right.
That's been the new thing, and it's very challenging. It's very challenging because honestly, there are times where I don't want to do it.
Right.
But I made the commitment. We're gonna do it we're doing it every Friday because this will end. So we're doing every Friday till election, and and then we'll leave it at that. But I think it's really important that our audience goes through all that stuff. And
by the way, why not continue on? Because politics is also local, and everybody, you can cover local Los Angeles politics and get people involved on the local level. With people that really need to.
I think if anything, maybe just having people from different from the different areas. Like sometimes we'll have someone from the left, someone from the right. Maybe like you said, a local politician.
Yeah.
Or local activists. But I don't want celebrities on here.
No. I totally understand.
But it's definitely is. It's doing well, very well, because people want info. People want info, and we bring it up in regards to also to the Latino voter. If we are the Latino Slant, it would make sense that we there's a new poll up. Harris is doing well with Latinos in Arizona. All right, let's talk about it.
Right.
So we've been doing that, and we're getting good reaction. Or like this, there's a big dust up with this band from Mexico that took down the song, said anyone that backs him up is they said we don't work with racists. So that was harsh. We talked about it. We did a video on it. We got it. And so yeah, it is. It's important to do, but it's like, it's challenging.
Yeah, no, totally.
It is challenging. So, but anyways, this was a great talk. I really respect and appreciate you, man. And
I back at you, and I really respect what you're doing, and thank you for having me. It's a real honor. And it's been great to get to know you. And over the last, we've known each other now for what, 4 years? 3-4 years?
It's nuts, man. That's
crazy.
Nuts. Yeah, we gotta figure out how to hang. Derek the DA.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah.
We're going to Dodger game tomorrow night.
Oh, really? I love that guy. He's the best. We are on Chris Gore's Versus show together.
Yeah,
I love him.
I invited Chris and Dante. It's just good to go and hang out and do stuff together.
Yeah,
I agree.
But he already said that he got his already.
Oh yeah, he got his True Noir. See, I got mine.
There
What's
you
up,
go,
man? See you tomorrow night. Okay, so we're gonna let you go because we we're gonna do kind of pay some bills with members and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
thanks for having me. I'm gonna go feed my dogs.
Nice.
We have 4 dogs here in our house now instead of the 9 or 13 we had in the past. But no more puppies for us. But we had a great time for
You had a good run.
Oh, 24 puppies. We're responsible for bringing 24 puppies, and they all went to great families. It was so much fun. I had so much fun raising those puppies. I raised them all myself, slept in my bed, jumped on my face. I mean, they followed me around everywhere. It was an amazing experience.
Wow.
You know, it's funny. You know what's really funny about that? There were people, here's political something. Now, I understand the idea of puppy mills and all that. I get it. It's terrible, and there's bad things that happen. But Elizabeth and I wanted, like, I'd never had dogs, and we wanted to have a litter of puppies, and of course, we were going to sell them, yes. But I wanted to have the experience of birthing puppies with a dog and be right there and be involved and raise puppies, and then it was such a wonderful experience. And then, you know, we vetted all the people that took our puppies. You couldn't just come and take them, and there was one guy who tried to buy our puppies, and clearly he was going to be a puppy mill, and we're like, no, we're not going to sell. There's no price you can pay us. And all the people that took our puppies were like families, and we asked them to stay in touch with us and to watch our little puppies grow up with kids. One of them became a service dog for a child who suffered from seizures, and to stay in touch with people, it was like this magical thing. But when we went to put notices, like we had another litter of puppies coming on, like next door, you'd have all the militant Karens come out and just come after us with a vengeance. Like,
what?
Yeah, man, they got us taken out, banned from Nextdoor, you know, that app. Like we put up something. Oh, dude, it was amazing. Now I understand people don't like the idea, but we were a private residence. We weren't puppy farmers, you know. We weren't, and we did whatever we could. But these people came after us viciously, and if they only saw the pictures, like you can go to if you go to Gilbert_Tallulah on Instagram, you can see us and all of our puppies, and then you can see all the people that got our puppies, because he took pictures of everybody as they took the puppies. You can see that, like, we brought joy into the world for a year and a half, but there's all these people that are like, you're evil people, and they would come after us, and it was wild. I'm like, here we're having a great time and seeing all these wonderful people take these puppies, but there's people in the world, and I call them the Karens because it was all the women on Nextdoor that just came after us. They don't know us. They have a knee-jerk response, and I'm like, wow, we had 3 litters of puppies, because you're supposed to have 3 litters, vets say, and then end, no more than that. So it was all designed. This 18-month plan was very designed, and our mama puppy Tallulah is my favorite dog. She sleeps on my head every night, and the whole experience was a delightful, life-changing experience for me. But there are still people in the world that are like, you're a bad person, you're evil, which I didn't expect, but it was there. It happened. They came after you. They come after you. But if you go to Gilbert_Tallulah, TALLULA, you'll see. You can see the people that took the puppies. You can see how the puppies changed the lives of people. And I will never, ever apologize or ever forget how the year and a half that we had of puppies, 24 puppies total, it was just a wonderful experience. And to see these beautiful families get beautiful puppies, it was the best thing ever. And if you had asked me 5 years ago if I would have done it, I would have said no.
Hell no.
I would have said hell no.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you guys go. That's how I'll leave you.
I love it.
Go to Instagram, Gilbert_Tallulah, and you can see the people that got the puppies. You can see how delightful they were.
I love it, man. Well, you know, we have 2 dogs here, and
and you've taken care of dogs.
We take care of dogs every day.
Yeah.
It's our little business.
And they're wonderful animals. I never grew up with them, and I couldn't imagine being without them now.
Same here. Yeah, same here, man. Love you, brother.
All right, man.
Have a good one.
Fletcher.
Have a good night.
Tall boy, drink one. Do Do it.
Yeah, no drink. So,
All right.
All right,
See you
brother.
both later.
all right, have a
man.
good one.
Thanks
There
for
he
having me.
goes. Robert Meyer Burnett, everybody.
Clap, clap, clap.
Okay,
clap, clap.
so we have a couple announcements. Let me see really fast. Did you watch The Substance? Was the poll. Maybe still wait till streaming, 54%. So 54%, over half of you guys are just gonna wait till it comes out in streamer.
Right, yeah.
Guys, go support film, man. Jesus, this is the movie to watch in the theaters. This movie is bonkers. Number 2, 21%. Demi's back. See, y'all see it. Number 3, 12%. No Demi, no more. And the last one, only 11%. We got Vicks and 7-Up at home.
There you go. That's how you do it. That's the substance.
79 votes.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Okay, so thank you guys for hanging out with us. We still have some stuff going on right now. This is what's happening. The video already premiered, but there'll be a direct once we are done here to Fletcher's reaction to the Australian production of The Office. Is that correct? There's a new Office?
It's a new Office, yes.
Oh my God.
Right. So
okay, so that's gonna happen soon as we end this. So don't, it's a few minutes long. Fletcher does a great job. So you have that to look forward to. This week, members, what's going on? Rosa Para just got out of the movie theater. She already sent me the audio. I need to do the video. I need to do the video, and it's Wild Robot. Members, first look, you guys are gonna have it for like a day before anyone else does. So that should be up. That should be up by midnight. I'm gonna go hang out and do some stuff with Romy and the dogs, and then I'll work on that. So that's gonna be up later tonight, midnight Pacific time. What else, Fletch?
Then we have Wednesday we have Midnight Sedge in Espanol, and then Friday you have the political show right after Midnight Sedge.
I didn't put that up. Oops. Yeah. We're live on Wednesday nights, Midnight Sedge Espanol, and then Friday will be our political show. We might have a guest. I'm getting some requests, so we'll take it from there. All right, we still have people live in the chat. Okay, you guys have been hanging with us. I want to throw it to you guys. I have 2 topics right now. I'm only going to do one, then I got to get out of here. Gladiator reaction or John Leguizamo telling Kamala Harris needs big Latino celeb on her side, could win an election for her. So what do you guys want? I thought J-Lo had endorsed her. I guess that's not big enough for Johnny Legs.
It's huge.
Okay, Johnny Legs or Gladiator 3? Okay, what do you guys want? Looks like you saw Gladiator. No. It's a trailer. I haven't seen the trailer yet. The trailer came out today.
A second trailer.
Oh yeah, right. The second trailer. Apparently, there's no hip hop in the trailer. All right, we got one for Gladiator. No more Legs. Johnny Legs. Gladiator. All right, right now it's 2-1. 2-1. Oh, 3-1. Gladiator 3. Really, Johnny Legs. Gladiator already. Gladiator reaction. Enough of John. Penelope Cruz. Where'd that come from?
It's some extra.
Oh, we love Penelope. Penelope. Christy, what's up? We read your letter. Were you here? Christy is a new friend of the channel. Fantastic letter. Fantastic comment. All right, we're doing Gladiator, guys. We're doing Gladiator. Voted twice.
That's how you do it in Arizona.
What's going on? Argentina. The Argentina girl is in the house. She hails from Miami. Great letter, by the way. It was the first thing we did like 3 hours ago. So, all right, here we go. I have not seen this at all. We are very much a Pedro Pascal friendly channel. We don't hate on the brother, unlike Fletcher.
Pretty much, yeah.
Such a mean. You're so mean.
I just
So mean sometimes. So mean sometimes. Oh my god, sometimes. Okay, so this is from the Gladiator movie, the official X account from director Ridley Scott. Watch the new trailer for Gladiator 2 starring Palm Mescal, Pedro Pascal. What's with these names?
Who knows, man?
Denzel Washington. Denzel!
How come Denzel Washington's not first? That's the thing. That's a real crime.
Well, he's probably like I don't know. Connie Nielsen, Joseph Quinn. I love Joseph Quinn. And Fred Heikinger. Only in theaters November 22nd. You have anything to say before we hit before we press play, Fletcher?
No, it was interesting what they cut out. So I don't know. So you guys
wait, you seen this?
Yeah, I saw. I actually saw it because I was like, "Is this really?" Because before I sent it to you, I was like, "Is this really a new trailer?" You know, because sometimes they go, "Oh, new trailer," and it's just they cut off a piece of the other trailer or something and just did something.
Okay, listen, you know what? You've already spoiled. You're already tainting my joy. You're like a Trumper tainting my Harris joy.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's good.
Well, that's good. Don't get flagged, Paulie. You better watch your spelling. Well, I mean, look, it's at the end of the stream. If we get flagged, then I can always just chop it off. So, bye, everybody. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, here we go.
Strength to honor.
It is an art choosing gladiators. They're usually prisoners of war.
Reclaim this city for the glory of Rome.
You have something in you. Rage. Never let it go.
Whoa.
It will carry you to greatness. I own you now. But whose head could I give you to satisfy your fury?
The general will do. Rome has taken everything from me. But I will have my vengeance.
There is plenty of pain waiting for you in the next life. I don't know why you are so greedy for it in this one.
Your Majesties.
This is your gladiator.
It is. I have the trust of the Emperors. It will clear my path to the throne. You will be my instrument.
I will never be your instrument in this life or the next.
Lucius, take your father's strength. His name was Maximus, and I see him in you.
Most fighters won't survive.
You must help him.
Strength and honor. I don't fight for power. I fight to free Rome from men like them.
Your name will be forgotten.
To restore order, I must have power.
Everything is forgotten in time. Empires fall, so do emperors.
This is war! Real war!
Oh, the odds are against you. The odds are always against me.
Ready to
All right. Fletcher, what do you think?
Boom. Yeah, that's funny because this trailer almost made it. Before I was like, well, I'm gonna watch it because of Denzel. But this one is, it's almost like it kind of did a reverse on me. It was like, oh man, it just some of like the CGI, like monkeys and stuff like that, and there was like, it's just, man, it just feels like it drags a little bit. And Mescal, it's funny because in this one I think Pascal did better than Mescal, because on this look of the trailer. And it's like, the funny thing is, it is, I guess it's like a weird thing, because the trailer in a sense is better than the old one, but I feel like it does the same thing. It gives you way too much, and some of the clips that they pick, I don't think were kind of, it was a little bit, like, okay, you're showing like mostly the whole story. And Mescal comes up really poorly, I think, on this mix, right? And we don't have enough Denzel, which I think is like the shining beacon of the thing. So it's like, whoa. So I don't know. This one is like, I don't know if I like the other trailer better without the music, and maybe the cut of Pascal in, if they would have put the music that they did here, put the cut of Pascal in the other one, right? Then the other one would have been like the number one trailer, I think, to this one.
Okay. So there's nothing new with this trailer, with this story. It literally is a play-by-play of the original Russell Crowe Gladiator. So in that regard, it reminds me of just like old Hollywood doing gladiator movies, swashbuckling movies. That's fun.
Right.
That's fun. I'm not going to take this movie seriously at all. Historically, no. Ridley Scott, no. But is it spectacle? Is it going to entertain? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Absolutely. There's possibility for that, because this is like old style Hollywood swashbuckling films. Is it original? No. Does it got the vibes from the other one? Yeah, maybe. Is it a little too much? Yeah, maybe. But you know what? So was T2. And they were able to entertain. So that's how I'm approaching the film as a whole. I'm going to go see it opening weekend. Based on what I've seen in this trailer, Pedro looks incredible. Like almost like, God, this should be his film, because his presence and I loved it. I'm talking about Pedro Pascal. Denzel looked cool, great. He's got some, they've got a great. It's a great role. It's a great character role. But the lead is this guy,
right?
And he ain't no Russell Crowe.
Right.
He ain't no Russell, and that's Russell Crowe in his prime.
Right.
That's a big problem.
Yeah, his presence gets lost.
There's no presence.
Yeah.
And his presence is kind of not likable. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
So I'm liking like, so, like, again, I could put away that it's not original, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
But I think, if it's like a swashbuckling type of Hollywood film, then, I'm all in for it, because it's not like, it can't be an historical reenactment. That's bullshit.
Right.
But it's got to have a swashbuckling lead. To me, Pedro Pascal is that great lead. You know what I'm saying? Like his style of acting, his looks are made for movies like this. This guy looks like his, like his squirmy cousin.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna go check it out, because we have a rule in my household: when Theo Denzel puts out a movie, it's mandatory black watch. So you have to go support. That's no matter what. So that's just it. So anything else is whatever.
Yeah, again, there's a lot of elements that I'm gonna go and see this right away. Now, I believe our own Rosa Parra. I mean, just look at that. he looks incredible. Incredible. There's just certain actors that you put on a costume, they just fit perfectly in that costume. The other guy doesn't. Denzel looked really great as well in his kind of like robes, and he's kind of like that. I bought it. There's a lot of good elements that I'm gonna go see this.
Right. I got one element that I'm gonna go see it.
Denzel.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, because nothing else sells it for me.
Well, the action looks cool.
On this one was like
the monkeys look ridiculous, but everything else looked cool.
No.
There's some swashbuckling swords. Give me swords and give me fake boats. I don't give just if it's fun, I'm in. Does that? But I'll give you the monkeys. That look pretty bad.
That look pretty bad.
it looked pretty bad, and the lead looks bad.
Yeah.
The lead. What? Because they were hyping this guy up for a while. Paul.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
No, it looks a little too jumbled, man.
That looks cool.
No. Oh.
I just don't buy. And Denzel looks fantastic.
Denzel looks like a boss.
Looks fantastic. I totally buy it. Well, there you have it. Our reaction to Gladiator 2. What do you guys think? Gladiator harder. Wait, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
In theaters November 22nd. We will see it. We will review it. Rosa Parra did see several minutes of it, saying that she's in.
Yeah, she did like this. So obviously, it's not really coming off in the trailer.
Yeah,
because what she saw, she said she was really in it.
Right.
So she's a fan of the first one. So yeah.
So make sure you check out our reviews. Check out our film reviews on thelatinoslant.com, featuring film critic Rosa Parra, and from Mexico, Alfredo Galindo. You can sign up there for the free newsletter, where we get you the coverage of what we're doing on our website. A lot of new films, a lot of great entertainment on our website and our YouTube channel, which tend to kind of complement each other, but we do have different content. This is our reaction to Gladiator 2. What do you guys think right now? Hope everyone is doing well. Thanks a lot. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. Romy already came in and gave me that look.
My wife just gave me that look like 30 minutes ago.
Correct. Sorry to the wives. Christy, I wish I can. You're throwing out some great information here, but I can't get into it.
I think she's on the delay. I think you're on a delay, Christy, because I think she was reacting to what Mr. Burnett was saying.
Wow.
So I think you're on a delay. Yeah.
Boats and swords are no match for a chancla, Paulie. Yeah, well, give me a good chancla action movie, and I'm in. The guy feels more straight to streaming. This guy.
Yeah, it does look a lot more streaming.
I'm still gonna go see it, but not for him.
Yeah.
Denzel's solid, but I don't buy anyone else in their roles. Really, I think Pedro looks good, man.
Yeah.
I think Pedro looks good.
Yeah, you and Lily.
It's a good character too. But you know what? We'll see. Still not impressed. Some people are just not impressed. Okay, adios to all. We're doing a heart out. Much love, everybody. We love you. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Wherever you're at, keep your slant fuerte.
Hasta la, ciao, ciao.